Good evening, everyone. It's been crazy so far, and wow, it's tonight is gonna be the most stream you've ever seen. I'm very excited to see how this stream is gonna go. Of course, we are on one last ride, if you will. And everyone in chat, if you can, always check in. Let me know how the audio is. When you start to, the more people you add, of course, to any stream, it just inherently is going to add so much more complexities, and that's what we're running into tonight. But that's not what you all came for. You all came for the final run, the final ride, the last hurrah, the last official hurrah, I guess, of Brickworld Chicago 2024. For those of you who were there, you experienced it with me, with many of the people on this stream. But man, it's just going to get even more crazy because we're going to have a lot of those people in the chat, in the stream, and I have my plans of how tonight's going to go. And in working with a couple of these people, some more closely than others, you know, it's still young in my YouTube career, YouTube journey, I guess is a better word, but anything can happen tonight. And so I'm very excited. Got some fire guests lined up. Some people, maybe they're not actually on the thumbnail, so you might get a little surprises here and there. Very, very excited about that. But it's all around. It's just going to be chill, going to be fun. Like I said, if the stream messes up, we'll fix it. We'll come back to it. And hey, we're just going to keep rolling with it as you do. But before we get started, make sure everyone go ahead and like the stream. You can also share it with other people. That's always a way to go. I'm going to drop actually a link in the chat, which is a link to this stream. And it allows people on mobile to come directly to this page here. So how exciting is that? You can come straight to this page, or straight to the YouTube app, I should say, on your phone if you use that stream. So, or use that link, send it to other people. It's going to be great. Help out the channel. I'm, like I said, super excited for this. So without any more breaks, any more pauses, I'm going to bring us back and we're going to get our first guest on the stream. Gotta do some little changing. Or should I say our first two guests on the stream. You guys aren't live just yet. Let me switch it over. We've got Brickmaster Harri and MKM Brick in the house. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
So we're just gonna chat a little bit about Brickworld Chicago, and I have like some basic thoughts about what I'd like to ask you guys about, what we're gonna talk about. But you know, feel free to go anywhere you want with it, honestly, because it's kind of like I want it to be anywhere, like how Brickworld Chicago is, because like you go wherever you want. So Harri, we can start with you. Yeah. I was actually the first person you saw in Chicago. So tell us a little about like, this is was your first experience as well.
It was my first experience, and you know, with John, it was the best experience, I could say. You know, right when I landed off the plane, CPA was there to pick me up. And same with MKM, he was there too. After I got, you know, taken to the hotel, and then in the actual Renaissance, like what do you call that whole exhibit area?
The convention center, yeah, just the exhibit center, the main area, just so much craziness. And of course they didn't set up until what, day 2-ish? Thursday is when people really started setting up. But like, I remember you were just, that first day when I picked you up from the airport, you were just on cloud 9. Like, you're like, whoa, I'm seeing you in person for the first time. So was this like the first trip you saw everyone in person? Basically?
First trip. And I'm still, you know, I was still learning things about everyone, and you know, still am, definitely. And it was just super fun to see everyone. And then me and MKM, we live like not right next to each other, but we live in California together.
Basically,
so we've gotten to hang out like once since then, which is fun. But definitely super fun experience that looking forward to doing again. But we'll let MKM talk about some of his stuff, because he was there earlier than I was.
Michael, this is how many Brick Worlds is this for you?
my second, because I missed last year for my
Okay.
wedding, unfortunately, or fortunately.
Dude, you had to get married. Hey, I guess if there's anything you're gonna skip Brickworld for, a wedding would be allowed.
Yeah.
I feel like most people would probably allow that as an exception.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
kind of, so you went in 21.
Yeah,
Mark.
21. No, 22.
22, and then 24.
Brick Fair 2020 was my first, or no. Yeah, because I've been to, this will be my 4th Brick Fair Virginia, and then this will be my 2nd Brick World. So
Okay. So in the Brick World kind of meeting, did you meet a bunch of new people that you hadn't met before in 24? Besides me, obviously. But...
Yeah, actually I did, because it's a different crowd than 2 years ago. It's definitely a lot more people. Met some other big time YouTubers, which was really cool. TD Bricks, Sacred Bricks, and just got to connect with a lot of people that weren't there 2 years ago when I was there. It was way bigger than it was than my first time. Like, just, yeah, shockingly big.
And so you're saying 24 was so much bigger than 22?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. So any favorite moments, favorite memories? Yeah, I know it's so hard to boil things down, but like,
yeah,
when someone says Brickworld Chicago 2024, what's like the first things that pop into your mind?
I'll go first because one of mine was like going to the convention hall. Was it that night? Yeah, it was like the first night we got there, and then me and CPA got Chipotle, and then after that we were going with like a group of people, just whoever was there, to this other Mexican restaurant. And then we got there, and then it was actually us three. We were at the top of the table, and then there was like a space next to Tiago, and then on the other side there was like a space next to, I don't know, I think Ross and Emily like sat down.
Yeah.
So it's just, we had to be at the end of the table, but it's like, I was like, okay, like I'll just sit next to Tiago, but I had no idea he was going to be there. And then we just started like talking to him, and then that became like a theme. Just, I don't know, Tiago was super chill. Shout out Tiago. And yeah, that was like funny because it was like we just all were like super quiet with him, and then we all started like warming up to each other and you know, talk to him about Bionicle and stuff. And then
his childhood love for Bionicle.
Yeah. So that was one of my favorite like memories from the first day for sure.
How about you, Michael?
From the first day or just in general?
In general.
It's probably cliche, but just hanging out with like everybody, I think is the most fun. Like that's, I mean, the Lego, obviously that's why we're all there, but I go to hang out with the people. I think that's like the most fun.
Super cliche though.
Yeah, I know.
All right, now let's hear a non-cliche answer.
Probably meeting TD Bricks and Sacred Bricks. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll go. One of my favorite. I mean, there's so many of these like moments meeting people for the first time, but
yeah,
you know, to be real, like some of the people there, I'm not gonna like say names, but you know, some people were like some like characters for sure, and like, you know, just funny to like, I don't know, like there were some situations like you'd get put in, and you know, it's just sometimes some characters don't match, you know, it's just funny. One of the times I'll say though, I mean, this wasn't even like that Lego related, but meeting friends, because shout out to John T SW Bricks. Like I think it was the last night or one of the last nights. There was one like just a random like person from the hotel that definitely probably like had a little too much fun that night. Maybe once, and
slightly. Yeah,
just a little bit, but it was funny because MKM like put on a fake like British accent, and then we were just like talking to them, and then John T is actually British, and then Sam is British as well. So there was like three people, and you know, pretending to be British, and then the person we were talking to eventually like called out John T and Sam, the actual British people, as like faking the accent, and then she's like, MKM, like you're definitely, you know, British. Like I can tell you're for real. Like that was a funny moment.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
That's too good.
Yeah.
So I was deciding whether or not I wanted to bring this moment up, and so you can feel free, Harry, to stop me at any point. But it was one of the first. I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday night. I want to go Thursday night. We were just walking around, and we finally saw. No, I it's probably not going to be the first one you think I'm going to.
Okay.
But we saw Josh from Beyond the Brick walking around. I feel like this is, you know, we can talk about this. This is fun enough, right?
Yeah.
So Harri seems to be the kind of guy where once you're committed to something, you're just gonna like do it, and you're gonna kind of play. I'm not gonna say play dumb, but like you'll be honest, upfront, blunt.
No dumb. I'll take it from here. I'll take it from here.
There you
CPA. Basically, yeah. I mean, like, one thing about me is I'll definitely just say what's on my mind. Like, it for me, you know, I've been in lots of situations. Like, if people have ever told you guys like, oh, you're digging a hole, like with whatever you're saying, like I'm the definition of like digging a hole. But I totally believe that like nothing's awkward unless you make it awkward. So therefore, it's like whatever comes to my mind, like I'm okay with talking about it as long as it's not like inappropriate to talk about with someone, right? So I see Josh, and he walks up, and like first thing I ask him, it was just, I think it was just it was both of us walking. Yeah. And then, but I just stopped him, and basically I was like, yo, like my name's Harri, like watch your stuff all the time. I just like, good to meet you, but I also got to ask you about like two things. Well, one of them everyone knows, one of them probably not a lot of people know, but the first one was obviously the C-section video that you know, they posted. And I'm sure, like, let me know in the chat. I have it open here, but if you guys don't know what it is, maybe someone drop a link if you can. But it's just a funny video, like a mock someone made. What was his name?
Jerry Burrows.
Jerry, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Jerry. So he made this like crazy looking like C-section mock, and it blew up like in the Lego community and other communities. So I asked Josh, was like, dude, like I just gotta ask, was that like on purpose? Did you
do it for engagement? Like,
was it just engagement bait, clickbait, like rage bait? What kind of bait was it? Because it worked, you know? And he just started laughing, and he's like, oh, like, yeah, like he was a great sport about everything I asked him. And me and CPA were just looking at him the whole time, like, what is this guy gonna say?
I was
like,
sitting there like,
he was just dying laughing. Like, he loved it.
It was amazing just because Harri was like, you didn't break, you didn't back
Straight
down
up,
from your ground. You were just straight up about, we're gonna talk about this. And,
I mean, there's nothing to be like. It wasn't even awkward though, because
no, it wasn't.
Like they posted it. They got like Josh and what's it's his brother, right?
Josh and John, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, if you post something on the internet, it's gonna stay there no matter if you delete it or not. And they deleted off a couple platforms, but basically he was saying, just so everyone is clear, like they did not post it for rage bait. They actually, the way he described it, and I don't know if he like actually meant it like this or if he was joking, but he's like, at the time, and correct me if I'm wrong, CPA, but he's like, at the time when I went to Jerry's house, like he had so many other mocks, and he showed us that one, and at the time it seemed like a fun, like family activity, like family oriented thing.
Family activity. He did say family activity. Oh my goodness.
That's what my family and I are doing later. We're doing a C-section playthrough.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But no, I was dying the whole time. And then I mean, the other conversation we had with him, I'll just kind of give the highlights of it. Like, so there was someone did some AI voiceover with Josh from one of his other videos, and like totally inappropriate, totally out of pocket, still really funny, but like totally out of pocket. And he had no idea. So we were basically, because I mean, the words spoken aren't in my normal speech of what I say, so I was trying to like say it what they said without saying what they said, and I don't think we accurately communicated what they said, but he was just like, man, that's like, when you've been doing this for 10, I think he said, when you've been doing this for over 10 years, it's this stuff like this happens.
I was shocked he didn't see it, because like the words that were used in this AI, like it was gnarly, like to say the least, crazy. And it was so funny. Like I think Ryan M&R was walking up, Dom, cool guy Dom, I think they came up together, and then it was someone else, maybe it was Christo, and like all those guys came up, and each one I was like, have you've seen the clip, right? And everyone's like, they look at Josh and like, yeah. You know, it was that bad. Everyone's just like,
that was the part that was the best, is because, yeah, like you said, people started walking up, and then we would ask them, speaking of someone that walked up, let me give him a moment.
Oh, hey,
what's up? Pop in.
Man, I've been here for 15 minutes.
Wait, have you really?
Yeah. It's all good. How's it going, guys?
Dude,
Good.
going great.
Turn this.
And So, Shy, we were just talking about the one, I think it was Thursday night when we were talking to Josh from Beyond the
No,
Brick
I remember
about,
all of this.
Yeah.
Very vividly.
You were one of the guys, you were like, you kind of looked at him.
Yeah.
You looked at Harri and you're like, I feel like maybe you were deciding if you wanted to come
I
clean or
just wanted to
something.
hear what he would say. That's all I wanted to hear.
And he
All
had
right.
not seen it. He was shocked to like hear that this was a thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what the handlings were going to talk about with this response, because it was interesting. But you know, like, again, you guys already said it and he's already mentioned it, but like he's been doing this for such a long time. You know, like there's really nothing that could really phase him. Like he's an OG in the space and he's very familiar with what can happen. So, you know, I was really impressed by how much he just didn't care about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my word.
And
Did you
then
guys play the video for him?
no, and
I
I'll
couldn't find it.
wrap
we
this up so
found
we
it
could
later.
switch, but we couldn't.
Yeah.
No one could find it because it was deleted like offsites.
Oh.
And then I think CPA ended up finding it later that night. But
Oh,
then,
I was there and he was like,
Yeah.
I want to see it.
and then in the
Yeah.
morning, the next day, I saw Josh and his brother walking around. And I was like, oh, I found the clip. Like, if you want to see it. And then he was like, yeah, you know what? On second thought, like I slept on it and I realized like I probably don't want to see it. I'm like, are you sure I have it? He's like, nah, like I think I'm good though, but I appreciate you showing. And that was like really mature, I think, because you know, like why?
It's not gonna change how people view you, honestly, and it's only gonna hurt you if you see it. Like, there's no benefit for him to see it.
Yeah.
But I think Ant Bandits I forget his
Oh.
first name, but he said
Adam.
he saw it. Adam was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw it that night when we were watching.
I will say this. I will say the last thing, and then I'll let others talk. But like, I showed. It was that right after I told Josh like I had it. He said no. So I went up to this like a bunch of like land people were getting together for this luncheon, and I was just like saying hi, and I was telling him the story, and then people were like, oh, I haven't seen it. So I like pulled it up because CPA sent the link. And then I'm like watching it, and it was like Danny Bob, like Jonathan, mini superheroes, and then like Maticus and a couple other people. So I'm watching it, and it was like worse than I remember. Like these words and what was said, like it was kind of crazy. And by the time I'm like done watching it, I just feel horrible.
You
'cause
felt-
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, I was laughing. and then Jonathan, mini superheroes today, God bless him. He was just like, yeah, that's a little more like troubling than it is funny. And I was like, dude, like you're right.
Gotta
I'm a
play
terrible
off.
person.
All right.
Yeah.
Great job, Harry.
Yeah, and then that was just like 20 minutes of Brickworld Chicago, just a little snippet of the insanity that can come this way. But Shy, we were kind of just going through favorite moments, favorite memories, you know, people you met this year that you hadn't met before that just kind of stuck out in your mind. Anything that kind of right off the top that sticks out to you?
Well, I mean, for me, this is my like third time going, and I was there with Michael like the first time everybody came through, because you know, like Chicago's always been a thing, but you know, I never went before COVID, and I kind of came around during that time period. So like the year before, Virginia like popped off, like because that was like when kind of everything started opening up again, but like the only convention that happened was Brick Fair. Because they opened up like right away, and then there was no convention since like until Brickworld Chicago. So like, you know, when Michael and I got there, it was like a small, like what you guys saw, it was probably like less than an eighth of what it was. Like the lounge area, we only hung out on like the left side of the escalators, like right off the elevators.
Wow.
That's where everyone kicked it. That was it. It wasn't bigger than that. But then you had people like making videos via, you know, Insta, YouTube, whatever, and it kind of hyped it up. So like we hyped it up. And then obviously it kind of grew to the next year, and then it exploded. And, you know, shout out to Michael. He wasn't there because, you know, he had his wedding and I was at the wedding too. So, but it really exploded last year. And the year before, it was kind of almost cliquey. Like, because, you know, you hung out with the people you knew, right? Your YouTubers hung out with the YouTubers, Instagram hang out with the Instagrams, Twitchers, you know, and whatever have you. But then, like, the following year, it kind of, like, people kind of meshed a little bit, which was great. And then this year, it was just like, like, I had like an appointment. I don't like how I'm saying appointment, but I had a time frame to meet with somebody, right? At any given time. after like the first 4 times of trying to meet with people, I realized that I need to leave like an hour before I needed to get to another spot because there was just so many people, and you want to give everybody your time, and you want to converse, and you want to talk, and there are people that you just dying to see because you haven't seen them before. Like for me, like leading up to your question was like, you know, Harri and I wasn't as excited to see you because I knew inevitably I was going to see you.
Yeah.
We lived so close.
We all live in California.
Yeah, you all. This is
it's
the
California
Cali
crew.
group.
Yes, the Cali crew.
I'm the lonely
But like Harri and I are probably an hour away from each other. Most. That's with traffic.
Crazy.
So, but there were people that like Greg, LifeBricks. Like I've been friends with him online for like since the beginning, and you know, I knew it was coming. So just finally getting able to embrace someone like that, like, was phenomenal. Like, I know like Michael like fanboyed when, you know, Tyler got there. But you know, this one is more like, I'm like, TD's great, you know, Sick is great, and meeting them for the first, well, at least, I mean, this is my second time seeing Tyler, but like when I seen them, I'm like, oh cool, you guys are great, awesome. But I don't really have the rapport that I do with them that I do with a lot of other people that I talk to every day. Like I'm more excited seeing people like MKM, like, cause I'm a homie to him. Like I care about what happens to him.
Yeah.
Tyler's great, you know, or even, you know, any of the bigger creators out there. Like, I mean, which I guess, I mean, I talk to everybody. So like, but to see them, like that's what I look forward to the most. So like my favorite memories are short, very short moments together. And it's kind of sad to say that like, yeah, we were together, but we weren't really together. Everyone was kind of like scattered.
Shy, can I ask you this? I mean, this might be a memory depending on what your answer is, but
go ahead.
Congratulations, you made it into land. Right? That's exciting. But
is that officially like it's announced or?
Yeah, it's announced.
Oh, okay, announced it himself.
The mic drop,
you didn't see the mic drop? I just sat down with my hat.
Wait, when?
You liked it, didn't you?
No, wait, was this a post or a?
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
Earlier this week or last week?
No, I knew you were land. I just didn't know if it was public.
That leads me to my question though, right? Where it's like not public. So like, because in this land meeting that was there, they were like, "Oh, we're talking to new people." So did they like talk to you there, or what was that?
Oh, you want the story? Okay, so before that meeting, right? So I was walking like from the convention hall to the lobby area. So like I was walking in that little hallway, and then Sarah's like walking up towards me, and like she kind of just yells my name out loud. She's like, "Shy," and I'm like, "Hi, woman with the Lego t-shirt." And like she walks up to me, and the first thing she says like, "Hi, Shy," and I'm like, "Who are you? Like I don't know you. You look official Lego," because she has the polo with the Lego logo.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I just finished reviewing your channel." I'm like,
what? All right,
and I'm like,
pay attention to this conversation.
She let like, I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I mean, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? And she's like, no, it's a good thing. And I'm like, okay, can you like lead on a little bit further? And she's like, no, it's good. It's good. I'm like, okay, did I get in or am I out? Like, I just need a definitive answer. So she's like, hold on, let me make sure. She pulls out her cell phone and she looks. She's like, I think you have nothing to worry about.
Ooh,
and I'm like, oh. So the next question because this would have been however she answered this question would have been me accepting being a part of the program, like me saying I'm down to do this or not. And I pretty much said like, can I wear this hat? And I pointed at it. Is this going to be a problem? And I can tell that she's media trained because she looked at it. She paused for like a couple seconds, and she was like, "We have no problem wearing you wearing that hat. We support our veterans, yada yada yada." I'm like,
yeah, relief.
So I was like, so I was like, okay, cool. And then she kind of went in a spiel like about land being more bold lately than they have been before. So that was very surprising to hear. And then she said, just don't say anything. And then the sources walked in, like in that little nook area. And I'm like, can I tell them? Please.
You have to tell, dude, when you get news like that, you have to tell somebody.
Yeah. And I know how much like, you know, Emily and Ross are beloved in the program. So I'm like, can I just tell them? Let me just tell them. Come on, I'm really close. Let me tell them. And she's like, fine. And I'm like, yes. So I let them talk for a little bit. Like, Sarah and I kind of said a little farewell for now. And I'm just standing aside and I'm like, how do I tell the sources? So I write on my phone, like if I'm texting one of them, like actually texting one of them, I just type it out. I got into land. So as soon as they're done, I walk up to them and I get in between them. I'm like, and I show them, they're like, what? I'm like, read it. And they're like, and they read it and they just like, they freaked out for a second and they just gave me the warmest triple hug or double hug.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like, well, because the sources know my whole journey with Lego. And for no one that's there, I got fired from Lego like 2019. I got terminated from Lego because I'm a fan. They found out I was a fan and they gave me a final written warning when I went on to Ryan's podcast, rip. But they found out I was a fan. They weren't pissed that I won his podcast because I didn't say anything inflammatory or anything like that. It was just more that they found I was a fan and they weren't happy with it. And they gave me this whole spiel about how they don't trust AFOLs. This is coming from I was a store manager.
What year was this?
2019.
Okay.
So they gave me this whole spiel about how they don't trust AFOLs as retails and they're all fans, but we're not. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Whatever. So come the end of the year of 2019, my store was the store that supplied Lego Masters Season 1 with Brick. So I was told to help out Lego Masters, whatever they need. If producers need anything, just go help them out. I'm like, okay. I helped them out. There was a glitch in the system. I got flagged in LP. They came through, they looked at it, and there was nothing wrong. But that was their opening. That was their opening to kind of figure out how can we get rid of Shy. So they looked around. They saw that I let 2 of my employees go home for the holidays, and these are the only 2 employees that don't live in the LA area. So I'm like, yeah, go home for like 2 days and come back. The staff at the store is good. So they got on me for that, and they got on me for just not changing my schedule around. I'm like, I'm salary. I come in when it's open, I leave when it's closed.
Yeah.
So because of that, they terminated me for decision making, and I didn't know what that meant. So, and at the same time, I was going through therapy for decision making for what happened overseas with the Marine Corps, and that kind of put me in a world of hurt. Like I didn't know what to do. Like I loved Lego, like. I flipped the store for great things. Like the store, the staff were happy, the store's doing great. And to tell me that you're terminating for this, I wish I did something wrong.
Yeah,
I stole something.
It's always nice. Well, always nice. It's easier when you can pinpoint one exact instance and say, oh, okay, yeah, I get why you guys had to do this. But when it's like slowly bending over time and not really clear. Yeah.
And like my district manager was like, we can leave through the back all quietly. I'm like, no, I walk through the front. I'm gonna leave through the front. So when I left, I just left proudly because I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
But it still ate me up. Like I was in a world of hurt. So
coming back to this moment, this is
coming back to
huge.
now
In Brickworld Chicago 2024. It's a kind of landmark.
Oh,
as if Brickworld needs a landmark. It certainly has something for you. Certainly.
And I couldn't say anything out loud. It was just like I wanted to scream out loud, like my redemption arc like just ended right there, and I'm like, because I got terminated from Lego for who I was, right? And now I got accepted into LAN for who I am, which is a Lego fan, a veteran, a biker, a fan.
Yeah.
It like completely did a 180 on me, and I've been fighting for it, like defending, for a lot of things to this point, and I was never really vocal about this. I mean, people do know about it, but like I wasn't really vocal about a lot of this, like continuously. I've said pinpoints of it throughout my channel's life, but nothing where I made a video, I got fired from Lego, nothing like that. I just kept it quiet. So to find that out, going back to it, which is why the sources, like knowing all of that, gave me like, they were like very happy for me. And then I went to the room. And then our little click out, which you 2 were there too, Harri and Michael. I don't even know if they were paying attention at this time, but I mentioned it over there that I got in to Claire, Josh, and Tiago.
I was not there for that. I had no idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I was late.
I remember telling one of those 2, or one of those 3 people, and Sans was there. And then I think we just kind of kept the hush hush of that. Cause I said, okay, don't say anything anymore. This is it. But then throughout the convention, I would have people come up to me and be like, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. And I'm like, crap.
Wow.
Who told you? And they're like, no, nobody. But congratulations, I'm happy for
Nobody.
you, right?
Nobody, yeah.
So Crystal came up to me and he's like, bro, yes. Yeah. And I'm like, no, who told you?
Stop it.
And then ACOP, Sean came up to me too. He's like,
Wow.
bro, congratulations. I'm like, no way. No way. But then Nicole came up to me. I'm like, no. Girl bricks a lot. She
Wow.
was just like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. And then I just pointed at Jean. As Nicole was talking to me, I pointed at Jean. I'm like, does she know? And she's like, no, she doesn't know. I'm like, don't lie to me. Does she know? So no one knew. No, it wasn't that public because Harri obviously didn't know, which was
Yeah.
I
great.
know, bro.
Yeah,
like,
if Harry knew, then
who
everyone
spread? Yeah,
would know.
if I knew,
Yeah,
it'd be everywhere.
Somebody did.
he'd slip it
There's
in
a
the,
mole
he'd
somewhere.
leak
Who
it in
There's
the
a
spread it?
mole.
I'm
stream music.
curious. We got to figure
There's
that
a
out.
mole. I mean, I know who it is. I'll tell you guys off screen, but but he or she wasn't collectively coherent during the conversation, so it kind of went out. But it didn't go public. Like it didn't, I didn't make anything early. Like if you guys found out, you found out, and
Yeah.
I just didn't want it to spread all over Chicago
Yeah.
and come back to Sarah and Jose.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. I mean, that was probably my highlight. I didn't even think about that. For me, like Chicago was amazing as always, but by Saturday I was exhausted.
Oh, my word.
Like
yeah.
Yeah, because you were going filming every day.
Talk about
no,
your podcast filming.
yeah,
One of
because I
those has
landed.
already come out. Tiago's already come
Oh
out.
yeah, I hope you like
Oh, that one's
Tiago.
awesome.
And the other ones are pretty good. I can't wait to drop them. It's like you have an itch in your throat, and you, like just like I want to share this news. It's a lot of these episodes. Like I want to regurgitate them, but like it just takes too long to edit. But I took the overnight from Monday to Tuesday to get to Chicago. But immediately when I landed, I went to driving filming mode. Like I drove all the way to Chicago proper, which took like an hour and a half from the airport.
Oh, yeah.
Drove to Citizen Brick, down the way, which took another hour and a half. Came back, said hi. I think who was there Tuesday? Were you guys there Tuesday? You guys came on Wednesday. I came back, said hi to people on Tuesday, then drove to Indiana for Crystal.
Yeah, I was there. I was there for that.
Yeah, and then I just didn't sleep the whole time because you don't want to sleep at Chicago.
No.
Like you want to be around everybody and you want to hang out. And then by Saturday, like I went to Brickmania with Greg, London Bridge Bricks. I walked into the store and I'm like, all right, I'm over it. I just want to sit down. And I just sat down and let him do his thing.
Oh my goodness.
Which is exhaustion.
Yeah, and then I think it was Saturday night. You, me, a couple other people were just sitting in the lobby, like not really talking that much, just because we're all sitting in the chairs, like like you don't want to leave because that's why you're here, but yet talking and trying to have a coherent conversation just isn't possible at 2 or 3 a.m. on Saturday.
It's hard. And by that time, like I had zero energy left. Like I couldn't do anything.
So I do find it funny we have yet to talk about any of the builds at Brickworld Chicago. We're 32 minutes into this thing, and
Are we there for the builds?
I know we're not necessarily always there for the builds, but did anything kind of stick out to you? I know Harry, you were there with Light My Bricks, so you kind of had to keep an eye out for some of those amazing builds with the lights in them. So did anything stick out to you?
It was cool to see. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the Barrador thing. Can anyone say that right?
Parador.
There you go.
Oh, Shy got it. 10 out of 10.
Anyway, that was cool to see lit up. And then, I mean, there was like Battle of Hoth. There was the whole Hogwarts.
The giant house.
That was cool.
Man.
Yeah, that was dope.
The house guy.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I mean, all of those. Did anyone else have any favorites?
The Matoran Village was really sweet, lit up.
That was sick.
That was cool.
Was awesome.
the one I was missing was the like the cyberpunk city or whatever. Like
Hiroshima.
Yeah, I was sad that wasn't there.
No, yeah, I was
Last year,
very
it was
sad that wasn't there. Especially
Yeah.
for all those that came the first time. Like the lighting was dope. It was cool, but
That one
seeing
just has
Hiroshima was lit up the year before was like it was a beacon like of light that just like grew, and the music that they played. So I heard that they're bringing it back next year. Like so, it's going to be just as
Are they?
epic. So
Ooh,
yeah.
I
So
haven't heard that
they
yet.
were definitely missed. So they felt that. So
Yeah.
That's
well, you guys
that's
will see
sweet.
it next year, or a different rendition of it. It's never
Yeah.
the same. So
No. Do you know if it's going to be as big as?
I'm sure it will. I'm sure.
Might
Yeah,
even be
it has
bigger.
to be.
Yeah.
It might be
I hope
bigger.
so,
Yeah.
because I was able to talk to Stefan Formentano, who's one of the two main guys
Mhm.
last year, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, 80 people took like 2 years to coordinate the
That's
whole thing.
insane.
So trying to do that, even just doing the same thing again, I can only imagine how difficult that would be. But trying to break the mold, do it even better next year. I hope so. I hope
That's
so.
probably why they didn't bring it this year, because it took 2 years to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
100%.
Let me ask you a question, because I'm curious, since I asked this on CPA's one of your Brickworld things, but just I'm curious to hear a comment from, since you guys are creators, but there was like a couple posts I saw after Brickworld talking about how like mock builders and creators or influencers, the name was.
Yeah.
Influencer Rally.
What do you
Yeah,
guys think?
influencer
Yeah,
rally.
what do you guys think about that? Because for me, the first year, like I totally like. First of all, it's hard to distinguish between what like an influencer is, because even mock builders, like there are crazy mock builders who post and have like 10K followers. Is that an influencer or
Yeah,
people?
it's still an influencer.
I think like mostly everyone brought like some type of build, I think, or they build stuff. So it's hard. What do you guys think about that? Have you heard stuff? What's going on?
Oh, it's not a new thing to get that friction. It's always been there, and you got to think about it. Now I'm going to defend them for a little bit, just so that way we can get the other side.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of these guys who have and women who have been just building, showing out their mocks for years, right? And in the last 4 years, 5 years, and maybe, you see a lot of the attention go from people who build a lot to people who just put themselves online, right? So you kind of see that resentment there. And then you have someone like Ryan, MandRproductions, who wants to do good for his fans, which is great. The first year and even the second year, that line that was waiting to meet him wrapped around the convention. Now it's a little bit more tamed now, because he's obviously is more accessible and he's been around to a lot of conventions, so people have already met him. But having that break of no one seeing him for 4 years, you can imagine how long that line was going. So people's mocks were getting blocked. People people couldn't see their own creations by the public, and this is during public day. So that's kind of always been a thing. And then also when someone that's in the creator space would film a mock and then get millions of views with no credit to the mock creator. So you can kind of see that resentment there. So last year, this was, that's everyone's still kind of scattered, but you had like creators who had mocks, but they were just scattered all over the place. But then you had people coming up to them and then hoarding the area in the alleyways, so people couldn't really move. So I think what they did this year, having Influencer Alley, which I think is a horrible name, they should change that. I think that was a good idea, because that kind of kept everybody away. And shoving us in the corner, like, I know it's kind of weird for some people, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I like being next to 2 exits and my back against the wall. I think I was like, we're in the safest part in the entire thing. But we weren't bothering anybody. All the crowds were just around us. There was no, funneling of walking through. So I thought it was great. Now, if people are mad that they weren't there, I think they just have to make themselves more known. And I feel like the people who were there because of whoever was creating that space. That person just watches those people, and any other creators who have an online presence and who also were collabing with other people out there. Yeah. So they couldn't come this way.
If you weren't on Brick Lovers Brad Who's Who game, then you don't
get out of the corner, dude. Leave.
I wasn't on there, so
2 of us weren't. It's okay.
So Sean often talks about little tidbits that happen throughout the weekend that you just don't expect, you don't plan for, you can't anticipate. One of those, I think, very clearly was Miles Turner showing up on Saturday. Who do any of you know who, at least on this panel, who were one of the first ones to actually notice that he was there? Harri, I feel like you stand out to me as one of the first people that realized.
It was Emily and Ross, because they were just walking back from it, and then they told me like he's there, and I like sprinted in to like see him, and then I saw him, and then I feel like, I mean, Holly saw him too, like, so they were, I think he walked in, and like Emily literally was like one of the first people to get him in the vlog, see him, and then it just spread from there.
It was Brent for me. Brent's Bricks. Yeah, I was walking from the corner, and then you just see Brent just like bolt. He's like, Miles Turner is here, and just like bolts out. And I'm like, where is he? And he comes back because I didn't even know where he was, and he's like, look, and I'm like, oh shoot, he's all the way over there, because he's a tall guy, like you can't miss him. So that's when I found out he was there, and he eventually made it way to influencer corner, which is great.
I'll take credit for Brent, because I went to the bathroom after seeing Miles, and then Brent walked in, and I was like, you see like Miles? And he's like, what? And I was like, Miles Turner, you know? And then I was just like, go find him, he's still here. No one knew if he was like leaving or not. Like, it was hard to know if he was just been there all day or like, so that's why I went up and I fumbled the bag a little bit, because I was like quick. I was like, oh hey, you know, don't want to take too much of your time, like, can I just, I'm a huge fan, take a selfie. And then like after that, yeah, dude, because I'm like, I mean, I watch basketball like that, like every time, because I'm a Celtics fan, and he played the Celtics, and every time he came on the screen, to my girlfriend's grandparents, to my parents, I'm like, that's the Lego guy, that's him. He was in San Diego Comic-Con, like hopefully I can see him one day, like meet him, and he was there. So but then after that, he was walking around like chopping it up with everyone, with like MandRproductions, put MandRproductions in like his own like videos, like he's been a fan of his, like that's crazy. That guy is like plugged in, and he's like getting more plugged in, which is sick.
So
Did he follow you back?
Yeah.
Who got the follow back? Who here got the follow back?
Harri did.
So
you just had to take a picture with him. I did.
Tag him in your story. So one of the first things with Miles, well, not the first things, but at the garage sale, when he pulled up to the garage sale, he grabbed a sealed Bionicle, was like one of the first things he grabbed, and it was like right at his level too, which really helped, I'm sure. But I was like, dude, I saw it from the side, I'm like, yes. we need to recruit him to help Lego see the light.
Shout out to Bricks. He might still be in the chat. Caleb, he told me he went up to him, like just did like a little pitch of, like, first he was like, oh, Bionicle, that's cool, you like those? And
I was with Caleb when he did that.
You were? Okay. Yeah. And then what do you say, like he built it with his dad?
You know what, actually, now that you mention it, I think he did mention that.
Yeah.
So, I was kind of like lucid during.
And then Caleb was like, "Here's my card. Like, if you like watching mechs and Bionicle stuff like that."
Yeah. I do remember that part. He gave him the pitch.
And Miles followed Caleb, and he didn't even take a photo with him or anything. He just like looked at his card. So like he wants to be invested in the community.
Oh no, definitely,
which is awesome.
Yeah. Like I gave him a brick at the yard sale. And he's like, yo, can my girl have one too? I'm like, oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think we can make that happen.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, for sure. I can be the first one. But then like after that, I gave out the rest because everyone was like, oh, yeah, bricks. I'm like, oh, now I'm out. I'm gone. I'm out of bricks. But I'm happy that you kind of see all the people that he's following now. And it's like, yes, like he really wants to be a part of the community. So that's hopefully comes out again next year.
Yeah,
I would hope so. I'm sure Mark's gonna try and make that happen now that I remember, I can't remember when it was, certainly later that day, maybe World of Lights, Mark was like, I wish he would have reached out, we could have like made something happen. But then again, maybe the point was just let's be
I would say
low-key.
He must love it, because not a lot of people know who he. My theory is, like, if he didn't wear the bling, if he didn't have a photographer, like if he was just there, like people would know he's a tall human being, but like no one would know, like search up tall human, like, oh, that's his name. It's not going to come up. So he likes being in that environment where a couple people, but everywhere else he goes, I'm sure people like ask for pictures because they know who he is.
Yeah.
Actually, Studlake just mentioned in chat, because obviously he's been very visible about his love for Lego. So I think Mark and his team had them in his thoughts of like, maybe he would come, maybe he wouldn't, and they didn't expect him to come. Of course, he certainly came, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think also another part of that is that if he does the invite, there might be some compensation in that case. So it's cool to like say that Miles came and his girl paid for him to be there. Like he didn't ask to be there for free. Like he didn't, you know what I mean? Like he paid to be there. So I think that's a better look, at least for him.
I agree.
And I think that's what, Mark didn't want to reach out just because of the money aspect of it. Because it's already been an experience for him for other, more, not more famous, but like in lieu of, of a personality like that coming through, is that they asked for compensation. So not that he would have asked for it anyways, but you never know.
And then kind of going back to him trying to get more invested in the community, with a conversation with Caleb at the garage sale, he was like, dude, yeah, hit up. I can't remember if he said hit me up or hit up, because he has a social media manager that I think was the business inquiries on his page. He's like, yeah, hit us up. We'll get something going in the future. So it sounded like he's like
With
down.
Caleb?
Yeah.
He's down
What?
to collab with people. Yeah.
What? That's
So I
sick.
feel like
That's sick.
it would be, time permitting, he'd be very willing and open.
Well,
to
now's the
that.
time.
Yeah.
Right now.
Dude,
Yeah,
In the off
sitting,
season.
sitting on a stoop with Miles Turner would be
Hey, dude, that would be insane.
Dude, I was so, that was another thing, because I thought of that too, right? At the yard sale, and I'm like, oh, I ran out of footage.
Oh, no.
I couldn't do it.
All your hard drives and everything.
Yeah, they're all full.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
you should totally reach out, Shy. That would be insane.
Or if
I
you
mean-
did like if you did a quick version where it's like a short, but you just
Yeah.
ask a question and just get
Yeah,
the
it's
response.
quick.
Yeah.
It's quick. I was thinking like I'll do it like it doesn't even have to be an hour long. It could be like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It would
That'll be
worth it.
enough.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he'd be down for it.
Like I want to hear his like childhood with Lego, you know, because he clearly knows what's up. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's Bionicle, man.
Yeah, I'm down.
So,
Fingers crossed. That's definitely up there.
all right. So, kind of bringing it back to more Brickworld oriented. What about? Let's see. Oh, we already talked about kind of unexpected memories. Oh, here's a good question. Late nights. How many, if you guys can think back and remember, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? Do you have like an average time that you stayed up each night?
3 a.m. every night.
Okay,
Minimum.
Michael's got 3 a.m. Harry, I
2
know
or 3.
you're an early guy.
I was
You know,
we're all on California
Yeah, we're
time.
on
though.
Cali
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Usually that's
You guys
1
have it
o'clock
so
for us.
easy.
Well, like I went to bed at 4, like the latest I went to bed, like after showered and everything, and it was still like 1, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the downside on that is that we still woke, or at least for me, I still woke up early. So like
Yeah.
we still got less sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I feel like
Even-
waking up early is easier than going to bed. Or I don't know. For me, it's like I can go to bed at like 3 and still wake up at 8 and be fine. But if I
Yeah.
like go to bed early but have to wake up early, like
Huh.
Mhm.
then I'm.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
makes
know.
sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense. I get it.
I guess you kind of dive into your deep sleep quicker if you're
Yeah.
deadbeat tired.
Yeah.
So that can make sense.
Mhm.
But
Plus, you're like excited for the next day,
Yeah.
so it's easier to get up because you
Mhm.
like, you know there's stuff to do.
Yeah.
for all of us East Coast or Midwest/East Coast people, Eastern time, it was
Brutal.
what, like say 3 a.m. I think the last night was 4, so I guess technically 5 a.m. Probably average of 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's
Well, let's see. Because if
brutal.
you guys came down to California, what would that be? So like if you stayed up till 3 our time. Oh my gosh, no, that
no,
wouldn't work.
no.
Yeah,
We would
that
stay up
would-
till midnight, and it would be like
Yeah.
3.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would
Our time.
suck.
Yeah.
Oh my
They
word.
go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I will say though, the Saturday night, like CPA when we were together, like the lobby wasn't as like hyped up as I thought it would have been.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was
On
very like
Saturday. Yeah.
yeah, it was very chill. People were around, but they were scattered like all over
Yeah.
the place. Whereas the days before public days, it was like popping everywhere. Like there was just
Mhm.
a crowd. You had the sharks running around. You had the the impromptu yard sale. Like there's a bunch of stuff. I think Saturday though, you can kind of tell that people were getting tired.
Yeah.
And that's why I was kind of thinking of like probably why Saturday wasn't as hype. I think Thursday, Friday nights were
Yeah.
the hype nights where
Yeah,
people
the
were
most
like,
hype, yep.
yeah, let's go. And speaking of someone that I totally didn't expect to meet at Brickworld, Jumi Film. The Jumi Film is in chat right now saying,
Yeah.
was nice meeting you all at Brickworld. And that
That's
was,
sick.
yeah, like I said, it
Yeah.
was something totally unexpected.
Jimmy's great.
It was
Yeah, I did
cool
not
to-
expect him there at all.
And Shy, he was sitting, was that Friday night? He was like sitting, or no, that
Yeah.
was Saturday night,
Was it Saturday? It was Saturday night. I mean, he like
I think.
I've never seen him before. I know his work. My kids watch his stuff. So like he was just sitting there the whole time. I'm like, and then when he said his name, like, wait, oh shit,
Yeah.
can he sign a brick for me?
Yeah.
That's like my first thing I tell everybody. But yeah, that was crazy. It was cool to see him there too, and him hanging out as well. So thanks for coming through, man. Hope to see you again next year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was totally unexpected because he does that stop motion work. I'm sure I've
Insane
seen
stuff.
his
Yeah.
his
No, it's
content before, but like I'm trying to work on this Bionicle project that is sort of like stop motion but animation, and so getting some ideas from him of like, how do you do it smooth, what's the best way to go, frames per second, all that kind of stuff that haven't really had to think of until now. So just getting a lot of that content idea and process idea was super awesome, and wasn't expecting it at all. So all right, well, I think I appreciated talking to all of you, so I think we're gonna transition into the next crew.
Next round.
And thank you so much for spending the time, little under an hour, for all of us here. And hey, if you guys want to hang around, if you're able to, maybe near the end we can have as many people come in as possible. But once again, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by.
I think this was the world's largest influencer
live stream ever.
I was gonna title the thing that, but
Largest Lego live stream. Let's go.
Tried to use better judgment.
Well, we
but
all know what it is. So
Yeah.
to be here.
you know what it is. You already know what it is.
Yep.
Alrighty,
Thanks,
guys.
thanks, CPA.
Thanks for having us. Yep.
Thanks.
Cali represent.
You.
Yeah,
Woo.
the Cali team, exactly. Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna have to kick you out because we're already limited. So thank you so much. Okay. All right, we're gonna. Whoops, showing you all too much behind the scenes. All right, Ryan, gonna add you in now. And Tyler should be joining very soon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to finish up my. I don't know how long you want to have me on for, but after I get off, I gotta finish up this video.
Ooh, little sneak peek of the review.
It would be done now, but I got distracted by some world news today. So.
Does it involve someone's earlobe?
Yeah.
It's been quite the buzz lately. All right, let me see if I can get Tyler going. But yeah, just talking about Brickworld and this year compared to last year. Kind of right off the bat, initial thoughts of how the years stacked up. What are your thoughts on that?
I felt less busy this year, which was nice. Like personally, the event itself was like, it's like I think Brickworld's gotten a lot better over the years. Brick Fair is a better example of this. Of like it's the same thing every year, and like whatever. But yeah, I mean the incremental improvements are nice. I think the yard sale was a lot better, like versus last year. I think that's my biggest thumbs up.
I didn't get to experience the Mania last year, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't because it sounded like utter mania.
It's just too many people all at once in a room, and you have to do the trickle flow thing, which sucks because it's not fair for everyone. But that's how it like. There's just no solution to that, and it's not Brick Fair where they just have tables to throw around the entire room like that, and it's just not 1-to-1. So that's my like. It sucks that it's not the best, but I think it's more than serviceable as like a part of the event.
Yeah. So speaking of the garage sale, did you have anything that you picked up at the garage sale that you had your eye on of like,
I bought the Jedi Bob poster like that they came out with for May 4th this year. I can't remember what else I bought. Oh, look at Jedi Bob. What else did we get there? The Santa Fe and the NSF train, I think were like the main like non-Star Wars things I wanted because I didn't like want much Star Wars stuff. So I found those there and I bought them. I bought them like outside before the yard sale started. Because the guy had them, he was wheeling them in. And I'm like, I would like those.
Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Anything kind of unexpected, in a good way, unexpected happened this year that wasn't on the radar? Anything kind of stand out for you this year?
Honestly, not really.
No, just a standard, just a solid year, I guess.
Just a good year of Brickworld, yeah.
That's always, yeah. No, sometimes that's better than. Sometimes you can get some wild cards out there that don't always pan out as expected. But with the crowds, I remember last year was my first time, and then meeting you for the first time, of course, seeing the crowds coming in to your table over there. I know it didn't seem as busy this year, but maybe the Megastore. Granted, I wasn't.
Yeah,
that was crazy last year. And of course, I wasn't necessarily over there the whole time, but meeting fans, you felt like you were able to meet just as many people as last year, a lot of return people, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, I like meeting people that I recognize. It's always fun. And Cooper said his banner sold well.
That was fun. I think he got like 300 for it. I don't know what banners kind of go for. I know you like those banners for sure.
They're all over the place, but it depends. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No announcements for next year, Sean. I'm not. It's July. All right. I'm not even bothering.
Is he trying to?
He's trying to get me to like announce stuff for next year, and I'm like, if I say anything and don't do it, I'll feel bad. So I'd rather not.
I know. I'll just say this and kind of keep my mouth shut on it, but I'm personally still waiting on the Megastore video. I want to see what's cooking with that. We got to see what's cooking with the Megastore.
All the files are just sitting on Dropbox, so I'll send them off to Chicken Bark, I guess. I got to do that. I think it's all on Dropbox.
You've heard it here first, everyone. It's going to Chicken Bark. We're going to get, even if it's, well, maybe on the vlog channel, could you get away with just a rough cut of like, maybe make it more of a vlog?
Yeah, that's probably where it'll go anyway eventually, but
yeah,
we'll see.
No, super cool. And of course, with you drove up, you visited a couple places along the way. Did that kind of, I don't want to say, does it make the week harder just because you're doing so many different things along the way and maybe you're already kind of tired by the time you get to?
Yeah, it is kind of the back end of the trip. I would say no, but it's been a while since I've gone to Brickworld without doing other things involved, and I always drive anyway now, so I'm very used to it. What's up, Tyler?
What's up, man?
We've got Tyler LifeBricks in the house with M&R. So with this year, the streaming that was taking place, that was going hard, I do have to say, throughout the whole week. Did that kind of add a new level to Brickworld that was positive, fun, beneficial? Did you guys kind of enjoy doing that?
You go, Tyler. You streamed. I didn't stream.
Yeah,
you were
I mean,
on several
I
streams,
think
though.
Good. I think it's a good addition to Brickworld. I think it's a nice way, especially having a setup like that. And I liked how really anyone could stream whenever they wanted. I think that just leads to more audience being available to watch it. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple of these streamers out there and podcasters in the space that of course probably have some audience that say ACOP doesn't have, or me, or some of us. So I think having a bunch of different people do it throughout the week, I think is a net positive. I think it shows a lot of people just kind of the energy there. I think those streams really did match the energy of how the convention itself is. So I think if those streams kind of like enticed anyone to say make the trip next year, I think they're not going to be like, they're not going to be like underwhelmed or overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They're going to kind of understand that, the vibe of those streams kind of is what to expect.
Mm-hmm. And I know, Tyler, you're certainly a big proponent of the hype of Brickworld. You're all about, it's got to have the hype. Brickworld needs the hype. Did it have the hype this year, and then did it live up to the hype in your eyes?
So it definitely took like probably until Thursday night. Thursday night is probably when I truly realized like, okay, like the energy is here. I think it just, like with anything, I mean, I think it took maybe the first day or two just to just kind of rekindle the vibe with everyone in person again. I think as someone, I mean, sure, I've been going to these conventions for a bit, but like, at least for me, I mean, like kind of who I'm hanging out at these conventions, like these last 2 years have been way different than how it was kind of for like 5 years prior. So it's like, I feel like it's not necessarily new to me, but it's just, I feel like it's not, I think just getting a day in, like on like Tuesday, Wednesday to kind of just feel everything out, is everyone in a good mood type of thing. I think to really feel everything out, I think it took a day or two.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I got in on Wednesday. Ryan, when did you get in on Tuesday or was it a full week for you?
Tuesday night, yeah.
Tuesday. So and even for next year, I was kind of toying with the idea of coming in on Thursday just to get that one extra night of good sleep before the week.
I've got to be the CPA. It's got to be the opposite. You got to come in on Monday.
So how are you guys on the sleep meter during that week? Like, Was it bad? Were you guys dead tired, or is this kind of just status quo for how you operate on a normal basis?
I feel like I got plenty of sleep. I don't know. I felt well slept. Yeah, I don't think I stayed up too late any of the nights either, which helps. Like just being, committed enough to just be like, all right. And I didn't have like anything, like any reason to be up at 4 or 5 a.m. So there's nothing you're working on, so you just get out of there and go to sleep.
Yeah. Tyler, I think your situation was a little bit opposite from my own personal memory.
Yeah, I mean, so the first night I had the bad experience of sleeping in a whole lot. I mean, that kind of just was bad on my end. I mean, I don't know why I didn't wake up from the alarms for 5 hours. I don't know. But like, so that aside, yeah, I was going to bed. I mean, it's about the same thing. I mean, I would say probably winding down at like 2 to 3, and then like usually like the last hour. I think pretty much every last hour, either Brent and I would do like another little quick like mock lap and just like chop it up for like 30 minutes, or just in, since our hotel rooms were, Sean's and Brent's were right here, and I was just 2 doors down. So, Sean would already be up there, but like, if me and Brent go up there like, an hour after Sean, like we would just go in my room and just chop it up for like 30 minutes. And then, so the same thing. I mean, I was asleep probably by 3 every night. Besides, I guess that one morning, was that Saturday?
I think it was Saturday night. The last
you were
night.
With us too, even.
I was there until about, I think 4-ish. I don't know if I'd call it a mistake, but I was like, I heard the mock awards or the build awards were out, and I wanted to see a couple of the ones that I had my eye on. I want to see how they did. And so I came back to the floor one last time, and you guys were still there going strong.
Well, yeah, that was the one night where when I went up to, out of the convention hall and like went down like the hallway, to get to the hotel. Like that was the one night where it was literally already the birds chirping outside, totally sunny out, and I'm like, this ain't good.
So what did Sunday look for you? Was that like a 1 p.m. kind of day or noon?
So I stayed all throughout Sunday night. So Sunday, I woke up a little late into public, but like I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, Sundays are kind of a wash anyway. I mean, Sunday just, public wise, and like it's really like I realized that there really is a lot more activity Sunday nights and evenings than I thought. So if anything, I was fine getting an extra hour of sleep or 2 in the morning, and then of course, there was a big group of everyone talking for, we went to a dinner Sunday night, everyone, chopping it up in the lobby. And then I went to bed, I think like midnight. And then Sunday into Monday, I got like the first like proper 8 hours, and then left Monday morning.
So Sean is saying there's some behind the scenes of Ryan and Sean trying to get Tyler up. I don't know if you want to keep that behind the scenes or if you want to share that with the class.
I did not even know that existed.
Tyler doesn't remember.
all I remember is the security guard, man.
Okay, so we can't. Yeah, so Tyler wouldn't wake up, and I guess someone got a wellness check on you.
Yeah, dude, literally, because I finally woke up from the dude. Like I do like the deadbolt thing on the hotel too. So it's like they could open up the actual door, but it only went like 5 inches or whatever. And I woke up to the dude literally banging on the door and screaming, like wellness check, and I woke up at that point finally, you know what I mean? And it's like I walk up and I'm like, dude, what's going on? And like at first I thought I've been getting like kicked out. It's like, what's going on?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that could be a whole stream in and of itself. Tyler's running with security guards, right?
Yeah, 2 different run-ins, man. That we do back to back.
What was
the one for sleeping and then one for buying Lego off of a non-vendor tape.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I don't think Ryan knows. Well, maybe I'll text you or tell you sometime like that. But like, it was basically. I mean, just long story short. I mean, a vendor got mad that we were doing a under the table deal across from his vendor booth, and he was jealous.
You can buy things from other people.
Yeah. Well, because his whole thing, long story. His whole thing was like, he literally came up to us and sort of said like, hey, I paid $500 to vend at my table. How much did this table cost you to sell at? Like he literally said that. And at first we thought he was just effing around with us, like just joking. But 10 seconds went by, the dude has a straight face still. It's like, oh, okay, he's not joking. And then I went, after 5 minutes, I was just naturally back in the ACOB area, and then another security guard came up.
Were you buying from another person you knew?
Yeah. just on a unused table. You know, like Thursday. You know, there's no
All right,
mop on the table
hey,
yet.
let me know which vendor it was. Next year we'll just like fake a bunch of sales right in front of them.
I'll throw it in the private. Yeah.
That's funny.
So Stud Studios brings up a good point. We all saw it in the vlog, of course.
Yeah.
Negotiating with an 11-year-old for cloned figs was hilarious. What was that whole thing like? I saw him at the infamous impromptu garage sale, and he had his own little table, and he had all his clones laid out, and he was like looking at what he got, looking at what he's trying to get rid of for the next sale. I mean, dude, that kid was wild in.
Yeah, I mean,
Tyler?
He definitely. At the end of the day, though, it was worth it. I mean, I'd say from like a perspective, maybe it went on like an extra 10, but like the initial like 25 minutes that it took. I mean, that was a solid core. Like, I mean, it was definitely worth it. Like, even from like, sure, I mean, I got a decent deal from him. Like, it was impromptu. I wasn't even expecting. Dude, people in Ryan's vlog were saying like I was scamming the dude. It's like, since when was paying $80 on a $100 figure that just gets handed in my face? How is that a scam? Like, I mean, I wasn't expecting to spend
so
$80
funny.
right then.
He was so funny.
Yeah, it ended up being, it was a solid little thing. I'm glad that transpired. You know, I mean, I got a cool Rex. I mean, that was a very mint condition Rex too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see him, on like Shark Tank or something one day. He's gonna be wheeling and dealing with the sharks, and be like, "Wait, no!" Like, I got it right here, etc., etc. That's gonna be a funny.
What, he's gonna be asking to trade for Mark Cuban shoes or something instead of Ryan shoes?
I don't know. That kid was like 11 or 12 years old. I mean, I was 12 years old, probably running around free. How old was I? First convention, 2012. No, I was 15. So I was older. So I feel like 11, 12 years old is a little young to be walking around the convention all by yourself, but also like, I'm not gonna police it. And he was funny and clearly could handle himself, but
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw who his parents were, but they were, dude. He definitely had a
He doesn't even have like a channel or anything. So I was like,
I think I saw the comment. Someone claimed to be him in your vlog comment section, but there was no actual channel attached.
I'm like in contact. I got in contact. He wanted my contact info, like, so that he wanted me to send him the footage of it like, after. And so I said, yeah, like, here, we'll exchange information. And he's like, I don't have an Instagram, I don't have this or that or whatever. So we exchanged contact information, and so I texted him again after like right when the vlog was going up, and I was like, do you have anything I can link? And he's like, no, I don't have one, but maybe soon or whatever. So
maybe
he should really get that IG going. I think you would have got
like, you gotta have something.
followers off of that, just to start off,
Yeah, especially with what he's doing. Like, he could definitely learn, I think, from being online. But
be entertaining and all
he's
that.
A little young,
I don't know. Maybe the parents are policing that at least. No social media for him.
Well, Connect the Bricks said that his mom was at the garage sale, so
I'm sure they were around. They just didn't happen to be there when we were chatting with him.
Yeah, no, that was funny.
Unless they were like looking off in the distance, like just binoculars in, making sure we weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
Oh my word. So anything, I know I asked Ryan earlier, Tyler, anything kind of stand out to you this year, or maybe we can compare it to last year? Were the vibes there? Was the feeling of Brickworld there? Maybe it took a little longer, Tyler, for you to kind of get into the role of things, but how did this year stack up against other years?
I'll say this much. I mean, I guess just the prime thing for me to say, just like to kind of like just that probably gets my answer out like in the least amount of words would be like in 22 and 23, there were both an incident in both times where just like with like a different person or two, like in person, that just like not like super bad, but like just enough to like kind of put me in just like a down, go take a 30-minute break type thing and just get a little like, all right, like what's going on here, like a little bit of that. But like this year there was none of that, so like that was like a good thing. Like this year was just like fully positive, like for what it's worth, like no little stupid stuff with anyone like at all, like, so that was good. And then I mean I think this year was like the instant like the best building block and like stepping stone that I could have asked for, going forward, for Brickworld in the future. I think, I was a little nervous on that too, because like, obviously behind the scenes and stuff, and like I don't even know the full gist of everything, but like there was a lot of stuff being talked about, throughout the last year leading up until this Brickworld. Because last year was so hype, a lot of things were happening then. This year, of course, wasn't going to top it. There was, plans going on. And I think this year matched all those expectations and really showed from, just what could happen perspective. And I think everyone's mindset, like all of like, the 50, 100 of us, kind of like that are kind of maybe implementing some of these plans. Like, I think it just shows that a lot of us are super keen for it. A lot of us had a good time. And going forward, I mean, I could just, see everything even getting better. Like I can see that now,
I know, Ryan, we had mentioned it a little bit before, but anything this year to kind of build on what Tyler was saying, this year versus last year, just solid. Was just one of those solid Brickworlds? Nothing, like you said, nothing real standout, but it was just there. It hit where it needed to.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just personal like experience each year. Like, I mean, it's just like what you did, and if like for me, I've been to so many that I don't like. Some of it's like it's a great time, but it's like I've done it 8 times, so like, is it just as good? Yeah, but like, is it special or stand out to me? Does it stand out to me personally? No. But like I said, I think the event's well run. I think they do a really good job with like the like bringing the Ninjago band and stuff. That's fun stuff. I haven't been, but like by all accounts, everyone that goes there loves it, and the band loves doing it, and like it's a really cool, neat thing. I liked the influencer corner thing. Definitely should be expanded on, but also needs like more rigidity to it in a way.
More structure,
yeah. But yeah, the stage was cool. I don't know. Yeah, it's just.
So one thing that, and that you can continue.
You're good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one thing that I'm pretty sure was new this year was you two guys had a panel about Star Wars Lego. That's a first for both of you, if I recall.
I've done panels before.
Panels?
But yeah, I've done years and years ago.
Okay, so this was maybe like a return to a panel. And
we did LegoCon 2 years ago, but yeah, but
okay.
And more before that. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so just with the two of you up there, and that room was unfortunately very hard to find, just because it was kind of on the other side.
I couldn't find it for 15 minutes, so I was late myself, CPA.
But
so
kind of a side note. But when I finally got to the room, it was like you guys packed that room out with
hardly advertise it and didn't prepare.
It's not a competition to any other panels that are out there, but hopefully, like, kind of walk us through that panel. Was there any like huge preparation? I know it was. You guys can talk about Lego Star Wars. Like, someone could probably hand you a microphone and you guys could just be like,
That's
all right,
what happened. Yes.
Let's run with it. So someone handed you guys a microphone and said, "Let's do it." But is there any plans or hopes for maybe doing something a little larger scale next year, maybe getting a proper size room for you two guys or any other panelists?
Personally, I have a panel idea for next year. I have to take it up with Mark. It involves like it just involves more than nothing on his end, I would say. But yeah, I have a really cool panel idea. Awesome. And if it pans out, I think everyone will really like it. It's not even like, it's not about me. It's not about, it's just a panel idea. I would probably host it, but it's not about me, or like, it's about Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to give away too much because I don't know if it'll happen, but like it would kill it. So,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm sold.
I have hope for next year that we'll have like a real true like banger panel that like even like regular public folk might want to come to.
Yeah.
But obviously even for the hardcore fans, it would be phenomenal.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
So yeah, it's not like about the theme. I don't know how else to hint towards it other than saying like it's not about like the YouTubers or like talking about like the product, which is a real, I can't say more, but it's a weird way to.
Don't feel like you need to say more, but I just know that I just based on how this one went, I think come next year, if there's a proper, well, proper room, however you want to say that. But I think, it can only do well is how
Yeah.
I see it. Just
Not a-
building on what was last year.
Tyler's
this
interested in
year.
doing something else like separate from I'll tell you what it is after Tyler, but like from what I have lined up or possibly lined up, like I don't know, what do you think? Do you have any desire to do another one? I'm not like dying to do another one. It's not like it's, I don't know.
I mean, see, I liked it. I mean, but as I kind of said, I mean, it since I showed up 10 minutes late, it definitely took, like, I wasn't kind of prepared anyway, since it was a little like daunting for me to like, I didn't know exactly how many people were going to be there. Like if it was like 30 people, then like, sure, I probably could have maintained it. But like there truly was like, I mean, what was it? I mean, 100 plus people. I mean, 100
Easily, yeah.
people. I mean, maybe even
Count
200.
the
So like,
chairs and the room was packed. Yeah.
yeah. So when I got in there again, I showed up 10 late. I mean, it took me like visibly. Everyone could see that it probably took me 5 minutes to like, kind of just maybe not stutter as much and just kind of get into get into the swing of talking. So like, that didn't help too much. But like next year, of course, if it's more planned. I would personally like if I was sitting down more. I think I'm just a little bit more comfortable sitting down
like
behind like a stage or like a panel thing. So, I mean, I don't know about anything I'm doing separately next year. I mean, I don't think I'd be doing anything like that. But if there's anything else, that I people want me to be a part of, I mean, I'm down.
Yeah. So kind of and Ryan, is it with maybe not wanting to necessarily do a panel? Is there any kind of specific reason that you would maybe be a little bit more reticent or reserved, holding yourself back from doing a panel?
I don't know what I would talk about that's of value at a panel that like, you know what I mean?
That like you haven't already made a video or
that
or
like
something
hasn't
like that.
been talked about that's unique or interesting.
Well, really, what I think carried it anyway was the Q&A aspect of it. I think that probably everyone in general enjoyed that more anyway. Because I think that's more. I mean, probably not the reason why all those people went in there, but like, 80% of that thing obviously knew you as you, Ryan, and sure, maybe some knew me as me, like, sure, but like,
right.
They probably went there for more of that aspect of, doing a live Ask Him an R type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that was probably the benefit of that. So I think the Q&A part of it probably was the best value there.
Yeah, and I feel like even if you guys just talked about something that you'd already made a video, people want to see it in person. There's just something different about experiencing that and hearing it from you directly in person, where a video is, everyone's that's a fan of you, they're watching your videos, they know how you feel about something, but
I actually wonder if like a live podcast would be a better idea. Like I've seen like some of the sports people do live podcasts at different events over the years, and that might like, but it's not like, I don't know, you have to have a running podcast to do that. So like, but you could do I don't know. I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be. But
you're saying Bricks and Bits is coming back in 2025?
Probably not, but what I mean, like a live podcast doesn't have to be like under a name or anything. But like,
I mean, you've got your Ask M&R. You could run a live Ask M&R.
I've always said I would never do that.
No.
But to me, it's like what's the point? Because like when we did the panel, right? Like people ask questions and I answer them.
Yeah.
Or people ask
it literally is.
Like, what's the difference? To me, none, other than giving it the name, which I don't want to do. So
that's fair. No, that's fair. So ranking, and I know Tyler, you love your rankings, and we've had, I think in the Brickworld podcast a couple weeks ago, you gave your ranking, but if both of you guys can kind of give your live ranking, no rookie scores of Brickworld Chicago 2024.
You want a rating or a ranking?
Rating, yeah. Okay. We won't rank them all. That would probably.
I was gonna say, I can't remember.
9.2 out of 10. Sleeping in the one day, took it down a couple, and I think the only thing that factually took it down, but it's not the fault of Brickworld, it's my fault. But like the week itself was just sleeping in that one day extra. But so a 9.2.
Solid score.
I'd give it a 9, and only because like I've definitely had more fun conventions. I don't know if anything will ever top like when you're 5 years younger and you're just screwing around with everyone else that's your age and everyone's as immature as it gets. Not that any of us are very mature now, but it's like, I don't know, there's something more fun about like staying at Lego Buff's house with like Chris Productions and Peach Bricks and Spencer and Danny. It's just way more fun that way. And like, I don't know, it feels more professional of a event now,
Yeah.
which is fine. But yeah, if Brickworld 2018 is a 10, this is a 9.
I was gonna say.
So I was gonna ask you, Ryan,
yeah, I
when
thought it
you
was
think of like
2018.
peak Lego convention, you think of Brickworld 2018?
Brickworld 2018, Brick Fair like 2013, 14, 15. Yeah, and then the Brickworld of like 17 and 18. I think 17, maybe it was 18, but whatever year Chris bought a minivan to drive Scarif to Brickworld. It was the funniest thing. I swear he said it was like a $900 minivan that was an absolute beater, and it had no AC, and he was like driving it across like southern Canada or whatever, and it was just like 100 degrees with no
Oh my
AC.
goodness.
I don't know. Yeah, dude's insane. But
So you don't think anything post 20 has topped pre 20 yet?
I enjoyed
every
20
convention, like
I've
Brickworld, Brick Fair.
enjoyed the last few years, absolutely. Have not had a single bad time, but
Well, you think there was a fine line there in like say 2020ish
sure,
that like
and it's nostalgia for sure, I'm sure, but like, yeah, it's also like the space has changed. Like the space changed like quite drastically in the last 4 years, through a lot of things, like literally everything. So yeah,
and literal hundreds of people aren't around anymore that were around in
sure, yeah, some people
late
aren't
2010.
around, more other people are around. There's just different factors at play outside of that. Yeah.
So I think Brickmaster Harri brought it up earlier in the stream. The whole influencers, and I don't know if you guys cringe at having yourselves referred
I don't
to
like
as
the name, but like
influencers.
I understand it's a good like way to describe, and just so everyone's on the same page. Yeah.
Content creator better?
I don't just
No.
say, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
People that make videos on YouTube or
Creators.
another
There you go.
social media versus the mock builders. And do you guys sense that kind of divide at conventions like these, and how do you view that?
I don't think of it as a divide at all, but it's just my like I've been around long enough where it's just like, to me, like I've seen so many of these people at conventions for 10 years, like well before I was anyone on the internet, and so like to me it's just all the same. Like everyone's the same that they were then that they are now, but there is a noticeable difference in that. Yeah, there's the mock builders, and now there is like a significant, like, yet still like minority, I would say. Like, well, some of the like people that make content like bring builds and stuff, but like there's a much larger portion of people that like bring or are there and just kind of make content while they're there, compared to the past, which there's not like, it's not like a bad thing, but just like divvying it up, that's kind of like, yeah, the pie chart has changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's
how about you?
I think there's maybe two things I have on that. I mean, number one, I think it's just the fact of the matter that like if Brickworld stays in that convention hall and doesn't expand and stuff like that, I think it's just the harder reality of like maybe going into the future there will be, I mean, if you want to consider it now, like, all right, like the influencer stuff, has like that one little corner, like if you want to chop it up as like, all right, maybe it's like a 90-10 split type of thing. I think it's just the reality of just the Lego space just going forward, and just like what would be beneficiary for Brickworld itself to probably get that to like a 75-25 at some point. You get what I'm saying? So like, no fault to mock makers and everything, but I think there will be some need to take a little bit more mock space, if you want to call it that, you know what I mean, for kind of other activities. And I mean, I know there's no way to like fully, I don't even know any of these people, so I'm not calling anyone out, but I think like if you could possibly even literally take that maybe other 10% needed for like other stuff and like get some of this some of these mocks that like I know like we've kind of talked about this a little bit, like some of these mocks that have literally been like, dude, they're great mocks, great builds and everything like that. But like some of these things that have been there for 10 years straight,
Yeah.
like that are like the same. No fault to those creators of them. They're great things, but like maybe take a year off. You know what I mean? Like you have to bring it back. You know, to give me a year break from seeing it. You know what I mean? So it's like
break, cool down.
If you could somehow, without like in particular like calling the creator out, if you could be like, all right, like hey, just maybe don't bring that this year and bring it the next year. Like so, I think those are the two things maybe involving the mocks.
I think that was something that was communicated this year. If I recall, I thought I heard someone say in the
I don't know if it was public or private, but I do remember that being brought up in some.
Like there was a table when you had to fill out your form to get your table. You had to like maybe even check a box saying you're bringing a new build that hasn't been brought in before, but could definitely be wrong on that. So, I mean, yeah, I know. Obviously, you know, I'm sure you talk to Mark often with this kind of related stuff, and it's always great to hear. You know, they're trying to make it better for everyone. Like they want to know what the people want and give the people what they want. So it's always cool to talk to Mark on occasion throughout the week, and then you know, he's always open to feedback. I'm sure you guys would echo that thought that he's always trying to make it better as well.
Oh yeah.
I give Mark a lot of credit for. I mean, you know, as is like hosting the foundation of the convention itself. Like, and he is very good at that aspect. But just in general, between not even just from our side of the aspect, but some of this other stuff that these people do, you know, that have no correlation to like, you know, the influencer stuff, like some of those other panels and some of those other things going on and the other activities and stuff. I think, you know, Mark does a good job at, you know, making right for everyone, and just, you know, at the end of the day, I think even just, you know, making some, not necessarily sacrifices, but just really letting people kind of just like flourish, you know, in their own ways. And I think Mark's good at doing that, and it seems like he really does enjoy letting people do it too.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I've even just being involved for a year, maybe two at this point, seeing that it's so evident, it's so visible that that's the case, which is always good. It just makes things so much better when you have that kind of aspect from the top. Tone at the top is a huge thing. But kind of thinking Brickworld this year, we've talked a little bit about what we can look forward to next year, and Ryan, don't want to give too much of your plans away just yet. We've got 350 days, 330 days, something crazy like that. I think Ostif has a timeline that he's dropping. Make it easy. Biggest, or when someone mentions Brickworld Chicago 2024 to you two, what's the first memory that comes to mind that sticks out to you? Might take a second to think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess maybe there isn't one that directly sticks out, otherwise we would both be saying it. But I think everything is just like, there's so many on the same level. You know what I mean? I for me at least, I don't think there's any.
Selling a bunch of stuff to Tyler in the parking lot in the last day because it wouldn't fit in my car.
True, that was fun.
I think I realized when I got home, I also gave you all those battle droids in there.
Oh, I haven't even looked in the boxes yet.
All the battle droids are in there, and the super battle droids. So you stole that.
Dude.
$15.
Because I forgot I didn't take them out, and because otherwise it would have been obviously a much, $20, maybe $40, $50.
Well, hey, now I can make my $15 back even.
You definitely make your $15 back.
And you created inadvertently an iconic.
Oh, but yeah,
meme.
The suitcase meme.
What an iconic meme! That thing is amazing.
Dude, no, okay, look, but how that played, I even told Ryan, man, because I didn't even see your car over there. I didn't see, you over there at all. Like, I had no clue that you were out in that parking lot at the same time as me. So I was putting stuff in my car for 20 minutes trying to configure it and everything like that. And I'm in my driver's seat, I was looking into my driver's seat, trying to position stuff on that side. And then I hear Ryan's voice just out of nowhere. And at first, dude, Ryan, you probably even saw me, dude. I'm checking my radio and making sure dude, there's a video playing. What's going on here? And then Ryan's right behind me, and I'm like, damn, dude, I had no clue. But then we worked out that deal.
Yeah, no, that was really funny to see in the vlog. And it sounds like you always got that M&R video queued up to play on the drive. Is that how that goes?
I guess that's right. Yeah.
Always, one of those videos you play all? is always just ready to go. Play all
Oh yeah,
around.
just got the play all on the playlist and just keep on going down.
Top 10. But yeah, so for someone, because I know we have a couple people in the chat who haven't yet been to Brickworld Chicago. Some of them certainly, I can only imagine, are looking forward to going. What would be your way to convince someone that, yeah, this is something you want to do if you're able to? Like, what would you sell someone on Brickworld Chicago?
Well, my first thing is call off of work right now, or on Monday morning, call off of work, for next year at Brickworld, so then you don't have an excuse to, that you got work next year.
I think you shouldn't need convincing to take a vacation for a LEGO convention, and if you do, it might not just be where you want. Might just not be where you want to be.
True.
Yeah, that's fair. Assuming they do want to go, but maybe they're like, do I really? Is it worth it? They love Lego. They're part of the community. Is it worth it?
I think if you are insane enough to be part of the community, you should be going to at least one convention to know. That should be you should at least be willing and able to but willing, if you're able to, go to a convention at some point and try it out for yourself. Definitely. If you're active enough in the online community to have a name like Stud Lake or if your name has Lego relation to
form,
it,
yeah.
I feel like your foot's in the door and you shouldn't need any convincing. But it's also maybe try a smaller convention first, one of the smaller Brickworld conventions, whatever. That's a little bit less everything all at once, because it could be overbearing, and get your feet wet and see what it's like. But yeah, it's the event to go to, of course, but only if it's, you got to be into it to do the whole 5 days.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with also just doing one day, because that's just as rewarding for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think one thing I'll just say, and I used to advocate this in my streams and stuff, and just I think it's just the truth of it. If you are making this a big thing, if you make it a whole 5-day thing, that's going to be an easy 1,000, 1,500 take off of days of work. It's going to be it's as Ron said. It is it's not just going down, unless you are literally down the street, but it is one of those things where it's probably a little, if you haven't been to one yet, spending that much money and time on a LEGO convention might be kind of the daunting part of it anyway. But I saw this year, I think one thing just to have expectation wise going into any of these conventions is, even if you don't know a bunch of people full on personally and stuff like that, the amount of times this year especially that first off, I met new people that I haven't met in person, but people I've seen in the comment section, of course. I've put names to faces and stuff, and there was a handful of them that I was talking to for hours and hours, and they're great people.
Yep.
There's that aspect of it where you're able to meet people. What again? I hate to say it even in this context, but you can meet people like that, and it's just real chill. But even more so, literally, man, the amount of people I saw that I would have never expected to talk, or that met for the first time, no matter who they are, whether they have no channel at all, a channel of any size, whatever. I saw so many friendships this year, especially that were just made, and then people chopping up for hours, bro, together that didn't even know each other beforehand. So I think if that's a little daunting to you, maybe who am I going to talk to, what's going to really go on, I think everyone going there has some sort of of course, when I go there too, I have some plans in particular with some people that of course are going to happen no matter what, that's just the truth of it. But there is plenty of downtime, free time. Just don't come up to any of us, when we're maybe in the middle of a conversation with someone else. But if you just, if it's just a regular, if you see me sitting up on the stage for a little bit, man, chop it up for 5 minutes with me. I think it's just so easy. Everyone's just so inviting there, where it's just I don't know. If by the end of whether you go there for a day or 4 days or 5 days, you will, I can't guarantee it. I'm not gonna write it in stone, but if you can confidently say you did not walk out having a good time, I don't know. I might have to put you under a lie detector.
Yeah.
Or you just weren't you weren't trying at all, because so in 2023, that was my first time. I went for 1 day. Fortunately, I was within a reasonable driving distance to where I was able to go for just the 1 day. And I'm generally a pretty introverted person, and I knew, all right, I'm going by myself, gonna have to get out of my shell just a little bit, but literally it was just that, like just a little bit. You just got to kind of put your foot in the door, enter some conversations with some cool people, and be respectful about it. And dude, like, you know, Ryan you were super chill to talk to. For, you know, if someone was coming up to meet you, yeah, you step away, you talk to them for a bit, and then when you're just standing there, you talk about whatever, you know, Lego, non-Lego. I feel like non-Lego conversations are probably more common just because you're getting to know people, you're making friends, making connections, all that stuff. So just kind of a little bit of effort on your part as a new attendee goes a super long way, just because everyone is so inviting, so welcoming. And like I said, or like shows on the screen, Lego Team B says we traveled 10,000 miles from Australia, I believe, 2 years running, worth the time, worth the cash. The memories are priceless. Yeah, I mean, that just about sums it up. And it's
and the biggest thing from my perspective too is, I mean, it's one time a year. I mean, I know some of these other, you know, some people go to multiple conventions, like, you know, I get it, you know, there's other things going on, but like, you know, for some people, like, you know, at least in the current landscape of like the last couple of years and maybe the next couple of years going forward, hopefully. I mean, I want, but like, it is, Brickworld Chicago is basically the, you know, however you want to look at it. I mean, it is factually number one in the fact of, if you're spending $2K on a trip, like, you know, you're going to get your value amongst just what they offer in general, you know, the activities, the mocks you see, you know, the amount of just the community that's there. Like it is the most bang for your buck convention easy. Like, you know, it's like you're going to be able to do a lot.
The convention, obviously the hotel is like the big hang up, but like the convention ticket is like shockingly cheap. It's like $100 for 5 days.
I know, that's yeah. Especially, dude, knowing it's 24 hours. I mean, the fact you could literally be in there.
I love that about it. Brick Fair is not like that. Brick Fair, they're like hard close at 2 a.m. I think, which isn't that early, but compared to Brickworld, where you could just be there all night if you want to. Nice.
Yeah, and so kind of with next year, well, not next year, because I'm pretty sure it's public knowledge that they have the contract with the Renaissance through 2027. So 2028 would be the first year that any real locale change would be able to happen. Is there any kind of changes? I know downtown, some people have been talking to, or not Mark, just people have been thinking, oh, what if the convention went downtown? Certainly pros and cons. Anything you guys see from that perspective or preference?
I know nothing about the Chicago landscape, really. I think they got a great spot, and I think they'd be a bit silly to drop it. Obviously the convention has grown, and it's you know, maybe the belt's a little tight now, but I just wouldn't give it up. It's such a nice spot. But, you know, it's not necessarily my job to figure out if it's the right spot, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do really like what they have. I think it's the all-in-one like hotel with the convention hall with the extra rooms that they've got going. Like they could find a similar spot like that, you know, maybe that works, and that's great. But also, you know, part of the deal is like parking. You know, parking's free here, and I've been to maybe 1 or 2 conventions where it's not. You know, like there's little things like that you don't think about, that if you move to somewhere like you were saying, like downtown Chicago, I'm sure parking ain't free, you know?
Nope.
So all of a sudden, a lot of little things change that you take for granted and never think about. So I do fear them changing venue, but also like I would trust Mark to make the best decision for both himself and for like the event. So yeah, the Renaissance is just, you know, it's slightly too small for what it's become, but I also think like in a crude business way, you could increase the price 20%, you know, knock 5% of people out, and you don't have to worry about it too much. But of course, if you increase the price by 5 or 20% or whatever, there'll be pushback on that, and that's a whole different deal that you have to balance. So, you know,
I mean, I'm not necessarily advocating for it, but I mean, Mark could charge $250 for that 5
right?
days.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, easy, dude. And I mean, and sure, maybe it might factually take, disallowed for a couple people's budgets. Like, I'm not doubting that, but like, if those same people still can't say that the value ain't there for $250, they're just crazy. I mean, so I mean, I could definitely see that way. I mean, I guess my quick thing on that is just like, I personally would just love the fact of just, downtown McCormick Place, the big convention down there, just one time at least. I just want the experience of, paying $50 for parking, walking across, a sky bridge over a busy Chicago street, going into McCormick Place. Like I would like that for at least 1 year.
Taking a look here, it looks fancy.
It is.
It's where like the auto show is.
Yeah, so auto shows, if either of you guys have heard of C2E2,
they
are
C2E,
there.
Yeah.
I tried to walk through a running convention there once to get to Soldier Field for a soccer game. That they didn't like that. But, that's where like the huge or the large, I should say, conventions
shouldn't have been
are.
walking, it was a running convention.
They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me run through there. But yeah, I mean, to what you're saying, Tyler, you mentioned the $1,500 price tag, that would probably jump to like $2,500, maybe $3,000. It would.
It would. I mean, yeah, between everything, man, but just between it would easily double it up. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, and then even with the admission of the price tag to get into Brickworld on the VIP days, I've been to a couple other conventions, Walking Dead conventions, stuff like that. Those are 3 days max, and you can pay up to $300, $400, $500.
Yeah, if you move to one of these more expensive convention halls, you have to raise the price, and raising the price makes people not go, and then you have less people than you had last year when you need it. You know what I mean? So part of the reason it is as big as it is because it's kind of like a stellar deal, which is I'm not in charge of it and I don't have a business interest in it, but if it were my event, I would probably consider raising the price, just because that to me seems like the simplest solution. Because doing anything else just feels like if you raise the price anyway, less people will go, and you'll just end up like I don't know. I don't know all the research. It's not my job, but just like my uninformed opinion, I could probably write that on Reddit and get upvotes because I sound confident, right?
No, and I mean, you're spot on with the direction and just how the economics of it work. Supply and demand, you got to increase the price to keep demand and supply in check.
Yeah, and like the AFOL tickets are cheap too for $20. Like it's a steal. I think it's better than Legoland, and Legoland is $130 for the day. So, for $20 for a day, like who's not taking their family? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I think one of the smartest things Mark started offering too was just the weekend pass with the private days. I think that was a very smart decision, just from a community aspect and a financial aspect for him.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank both of you for coming on. Tyler, you can stay on if you want. Your favorite buddies Andy and Jeff are gonna hop on next. We're gonna get some.
I got to catch them for at least 5 minutes if that's fine with you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We're gonna hear from the people, I guess, is a way of saying that. So thanks, Ryan, for stopping by. Looks like you're trying to finish up your skiff review. First look, chat, at that skiff review.
Have you done the Rebel Friend clip yet, Ryan?
No, I wasn't gonna put it in this video. I might do a YouTube short called "How to Make an Official Lego Rebel Friend."
Not a bad idea.
When are you gonna upload again? You've said like 4 times this week.
Look, I'll be honest. I mean, the first thing you might see me do is one of those vertical streams. Those vertical streams are like.
That's what I'm gonna do after I finish that. Is build C3PO.
On a vertical stream.
Yeah, because I did a stream yesterday that was like normal like this on StreamYard. Yeah. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, I wasn't gonna build C3PO on stream, and then I was like, I could try it and just see.
Yeah, I mean, dude. I mean, what Christo's doing on the daily basis of a couple-hour build every day, and I mean the numbers. I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, dude, he's building some Dreams sets, and it's 50,000 views. I mean, again, we know he even. I mean, the verticals. I mean, you're bringing in 3/4. I mean, it's all fresh people, but like the sub count is raising, and he's even saying he's noticing a lot of return people in comment sections and
the
stuff.
The vertical phone streams are like where it's at nowadays. Apparently, is that what you're saying?
It depends on what you're streaming. I wouldn't do what I did yesterday and just change it to vertical, but just because I wanted just build C3PO and just hang out for a couple hours,
Yeah.
I'd do it. But like this, I wouldn't do vertical. But maybe if you do it vertical, it gets more viewers. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I
All right,
think it's one of
guys,
those things-
hold
it's
up
just a
real quick. I'm going vertical. What can I do? Switch to vertical. Go, go, go.
all right. Thank you very much for having me. I'll see you at Brickworld next year.
Dude,
All right,
absolutely.
see you, man.
All right, bye
See you
guys.
then. All right, let me send an old message. I told them 9:45, so I'll just tell them now because it's 9:44.
Yeah, CPA. I'll be honest, man. I mean, vertical. I don't recommend vertical for your podcast at all. Just do a just presentation. But I mean, if you're ever to the point of you're building a set or something and want to start doing like a little set building and stuff, I would not doubt maybe try vertical. I mean, it's piqued my interest.
I've got the boutique hotel.
Bro, I would vertical it up, man.
So maybe I'll vert that one. So is that a thing where you have to be on your phone? Do that?
I at least had to be on my phone to join in on it, but I'm not sure if you're just hosting it single. I'm not sure if you can host it individually off a desktop. You get what I'm saying there?
Yeah, because I definitely could stream it in 1920 or vertical on the laptop. I just to your point, I don't know if YouTube would register it as like, oh, we need to push this as a
well, because I mean, the biggest thing with vertical is, I mean, it pops up when it's just like on like TikTok, like how like you get like a live here and there. You're going on your for you, you're going through your thing and you get like a live video every 20. So that's the same thing. Like, these vertical streams pop up when you're scrolling through YouTube Shorts. So that's how you get so many, randoms.
Yo, what up?
Speaking of randoms, and
I was literally just gonna say. I was gonna say that. Speaking of randoms, you got you three. I'm kidding.
Yeah, the viewership is about to fall off.
Dude, these are the three worst people to bring on at what? Right, man. We are. One of us is in a car with vertically formatted. The other's in his room vertically formatted. Then one
Oh yeah,
guy's got
speaking of
this is
vertical,
not my
yeah,
room.
we got two verticals on the stream right
yeah,
now.
Jeff's doing it right.
Yeah.
Oh, here, wait. Let's all.
Oh,
Am I upside
yeah,
down?
yeah.
That's better. What
But
do we
there's
think?
5 of us, so we've got this dead space in the bottom left and the
Yes,
bottom
no,
right.
it's okay.
But
Yeah.
I was not anticipating having Tyler stick on, but he's gonna stick on.
Wait,
For
we got to bring in
Oh,
Squidman
yeah.
now. Squidman's got to be the sixth
Yeah.
man, filling the void.
He's my
Unlikely.
favorite person at Chicago.
So
I
yeah, I was
agree,
gonna ask
yeah.
who your favorite person to meet at Chicago was, but it sounds
Was
like
Squidman, for sure.
it was
Absolutely.
Squidman. How about you, Andy? What was your
Favorite
highlight?
person to meet. I mean, would you count? Because like I feel like I mostly hung out with people I met last year, but like I only saw you for like 5 seconds last year.
What about Zane? You forgot about Zane. You didn't meet him last year.
Zane, of course, yeah. Okay, Zane is my answer. Yeah.
No one knows who Zane is. That was my buddy who I brought.
Oh, that's what the dude you were walking with, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I told him he should start a YouTube channel where he just gives fitness tips and builds Lego sets because he's just like ripped. And I'm like, dude, you should start it. It's unique. And he's like, no, I'm just gonna quietly post to Instagram and not tell anyone my username because he uses some like other username where he just randomly posts Lego stuff. So
Is he just is he a personal life friend to you? Personal life friend?
Yeah, dude, we did plays together, and then one day I showed him a picture. I was like, "Look what I'm working on," and it was Lego, and he was like, "Dude, I like Lego," and best friends ever since.
Dude, it's really that
That's
easy,
awesome.
honestly. It really
It
is.
Lego's the great unifier.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm
for
glad
sure.
Tyler, you were able to stay on because I wanted to use this opportunity for you and Jake to finally squash the beef.
No,
The beef is
Oh, hey,
No.
we squashed it in real life.
wait,
I know,
Tyler,
I know.
straight up, when Andy and Jeff and all of them were trying to introduce me to CPA, they're trying to do to me what they did to me last year with you, and they're trying to. They always set me up, but this time I was onto it. I was like, okay, I'm getting buddy trolled. I'm not gonna fall for it this time. But I think the first thing I said to you, Tyler, these guys were like, you should tell me it's a really good handshake. And I look you dead in the eyes and I go, nice handshake. And instantly you're like, what is wrong with this guy? I came off so fake and weird. And you were just so honest. You're like, dude, you kind of seem fake and weird. I was like, no, wait, I'm sorry. I thought we were okay. Oh, man, it was,
The ego, when I first met you, the ego was radiating off of you.
dude, I was
You got rubbed the wrong way.
that was the exact, dude. It was dark because it was the thing of lights. I was sweating. My brow was sweating. I was like, wait, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound it. Oh, man. It was probably the most embarrassing moment I've ever had at Brickworld so far was that interaction. But we squashed the beef. We were cool. We squashed the beef about 15 minutes afterwards. It was, but that 15 minutes, intense and awkward, incredibly awkward. Because, again, they set it up as like, no, Tyler memes and trolls like we do. So at first, when I did
I don't think we said that.
it was phrased, Jeff. Let me just throw you under the bus. That's but no,
It was
so
Jeff that said that specifically.
No, I didn't say that.
Jeff definitely did say it, but I got that vibe, so I thought you were like memeing with me at first. It took about 5 minutes for it to finally click, like, oh, it's not a joke, and I seem like an egotistical psychopath right now. So that was a fun experience. But the beef has been squashed for over a year now. So
Yeah.
CPA,
Enemies to lovers, yeah.
it's
We almost had a similar experience this year, but
we did.
thankfully
I
your
just started
foresight
beef.
kicked in.
Yeah, dude, could
It's
you
all in
imagine
your
I have
head.
beef with if I have beef with Tyler and CPA? God,
Just trolling in the room with us.
it just gets longer and longer. Oh, that'd be terrible.
Well,
Every year I make an enemy.
I did kind of mention that we had unknown beef because you received the plushie Voldemort last year that I was
Yes.
that was intended for me.
That one
according
was
to
Jeff's
Jeff.
fault. That was Jeff's fault.
What? Yeah, Jeff. What's the story behind that? Is
No.
it? Did you think you weren't
I
going to
mean-
see me, or you just
Yep.
you saw him first?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I tried to steal the one that I gave Eric to give to you, but Eric wasn't happy about that.
Did Jeff give you a gift this year? Because Jeff gave me a gift this year as well.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
gave it to you,
you
didn't I?
did because the little Elsa set was from
That
Yep.
that was
Yep,
from
me too.
Andrew. No,
no, that was
No,
for
that's
me.
from Jeff.
Yeah. Do you know how many of those I bought?
He bought
don't
so
even
enough to
remember
give
who
us
it's
2 of
from.
them.
I thought
I forget if I
Andrew
told you,
came
Jake.
up and gave that to me.
No, it was.
It was
100%
Jeff.
me.
Wow. Okay. It was a blur.
See,
That
this is
day
why
was a
you didn't get
blur.
the Voldemort. You don't even remember when he
Yeah,
gives you a
yeah.
gift.
Yeah, you're unappreciative of your
It
gifts.
was-
I've
I'm
already
so-
removed it
Jake
from my
made
gift
a
list for
haul
next year.
video. He shouted out Jeff and everything. Like he
Always.
showcased the Voldemort. Yeah.
Well,
Always.
I'll
see you
give
doing
you some more lore that actually just happened today.
Okay.
I want to say this without saying creepy, so I have to say it in the correct order. My wife asked me if I was going to ever build that set, and I said probably not. So then she used it to gift it to her coworker's daughter's birthday
Oh,
today.
So you just regifted? No. that's
wow. No.
Is that
so
is that
wrong on
horrible?
So many levels.
That is
I-
pretty bad.
Yeah, but
You're
now
supposed to build it. You're supposed to build it and treasure it forever.
a future
personally.
person is going to deeply enjoy that set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that person was
I
supposed to
gifted
be
it to
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they'll regift it, and it'll just keep getting regifted and regifted until someday it ends up at like a stuff, etc. or something.
Just know that if it was a Voldemort plushie, I would not have given it away.
Well, beggars can't be choosers.
So
Yeah.
all I gotta say, CPA, is that if you want to be on the gift list next year, you're gonna have to go right now to Amazon and purchase your own copy of that Running Rapunzel set and build it live on stream.
Just so I always have it. I need to have it in my
Yes,
possession.
Yeah.
You do. You do.
And then
It's
shout out
like a
Tyler
totem.
for giving us all gifts. The monkey
Yeah.
battle packs.
Where it's somewhere. Yep.
It's a
Oh, I
baller
got it. I
move
got
right
it.
there.
right
Did
here.
you regift it to a coworker's cousin's?
Yeah, you
cousin's
should
wife?
get that one too.
Yeah, that one's
Okay,
the
okay,
co-worker's
all right,
son.
all right.
Which
Oh,
I think
that's-
did Jeff not sign it? Is that what happened?
I think I signed it. I signed them all on the warning thing. Yeah, my signature's there. You're just
We
Someone-
really should have just laid out like all 10 of them and just literally all of us just to make sure we all should have
Andy,
just
Eric,
laid them out
My
and just signed.
signature's there.
CPA.
It's right, bottom right hand corner.
Yeah.
Maybe no.
On the
I'm
warning.
looking for whose wasn't. Maybe it was Chicken Bark. No,
Okay.
Gil signed it right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, someone didn't sign it, but getting back on track. I guess we're still talking about Brickworld,
It's
But-
still Brickworld. It's still stuff that happened.
but like
Yeah.
unexpected memories. Let's hear some unexpected memories of things that came out of nowhere, but
I
you
got
still
one.
remember to
Unexpected
this day.
I've got one with Andy. Andy had to come out to my car to pick up a set, and he's like, "Just pretend like we're leaving together."
Whoa,
and I was
pause,
like,
pause. All right, you can tell that story. It's fine.
Yeah, so he gets in my car, and there's like a ton of road work going on. He's like, just drive this direction. We drive all the way down like a mile, and we just turn around, come back, and then he gets out of the car. He doesn't have shoes on, just runs across the street through the road work to go back inside, and all the guys at the Airbnb are staring at the window, waiting to see him come back because they were certain he didn't actually leave with me.
We were
it
trying
was
to
like
prank them to make
Yeah.
them think that I was leaving with Jake and not coming back.
at like 2 a.m.
Yes, yeah, at 2 a.m.
Man, did you prank so many people at 2
They fell
a.m.?
for it. They all fell for it.
I know
Exactly.
I would have
Fell
fallen
for
for it.
I was gone.
But you did come back, right?
Yeah,
No,
in
he
his
never
socks.
came back.
I got hit by a car in the middle of the road and never
In
came
his
back.
socks.
Mm.
No, I just couldn't get over how you didn't put your shoes on. You're like, let's just go. I was like, all right, sounds good.
I
Andy.
didn't have time to think. We had to, think
You're
on
right.
the fly. You gotta.
You were committed. You're committed to the bit. And then Jeff said
Exactly.
he had one as well, a memory.
My memory was Jake getting canceled for watching Inside Out 2.
No, that was so just two films. Is that what it's called, or what is
Yep.
the channel called? Oh, I didn't get to finish my statement, and she got me
Oh,
on that one.
no.
That got me canceled. Let's not
Was a
relive
voice
that
bit
one.
cut short? And
We'll say that. Yes. Did she put it in the final cut?
Is
I
it
never got to
live
watch
on
it.
there?
Yeah, the
it's in
final
there.
cut is one take, then
Good.
no editing.
Yeah.
Good. Because what I was saying was that I'll give the context, right? So we all see Inside Out 2, and all she had done was interview all the guys in the group. So I was thinking, as the next guy in the group, I was like, well, as another guy here, and she goes, there's a woman here, and I go, no, and then it was too late, and I was canceled, and it was
Yes.
it was a joke cancel, and me and her were joking about it at the end, but like in the video, in the context, it seems bad. I was like, it's not great, but that's all right. So I got canceled, and thanks, Jeff, for letting me talk about that. That's incredible. Thank you, Jeff.
So, what about biggest disappointments of Brickworld Chicago 2024? I can start us
garage
out.
sale. Garage sale.
I was gonna say Jerry Burroughs didn't show up. That's what I was gonna say.
So I agree. That's my
Our toy
unexpected
world.
memory too. Was talking to Beyond the Brick about Jerry Burroughs. That was good times.
Yeah, I mean that was hilarious. I do have to say.
Yeah, yeah. Just going up to them, saying what's up. They thought it was funny. They were in on it, so that was good.
How about you, Jeff? Any
biggest disappointment?
joking disappointment? It's not like legitimate.
Joking disappointment?
I know
I
Jake,
have-
Jake
I have
dropped in a
legitimate
legitimate disappointment.
I have like actual legitimate criticism.
Okay,
My
we
biggest
can go that
disappointment
route.
is that you did not pull up to Tuesday with us.
Can the shirtless
You
man
would've loved
please
that
get out of
movie.
the frame?
Just a shirtless
Thank
man
you.
in Andy's stream. That's incredible. Andy's banned. Andy's never allowed on again.
Yo, I apologize. This is out of my control. I apologize. That's all I
Control
gotta
your
say.
shirtless men, please.
At
I
least
don't
I
want
was
to be
muted. At least I was
demonetized.
muted. Okay.
Loki looks like Ashton Kutcher. I don't know if that's kind of how it struck me. Andy's with shirtless Ashton Kutcher. Go on, Jeff.
Yeah, my biggest disappointment was that you did not come see the movie Tuesday with us because I think you would have loved it.
Which movie did
Actually,
you?
no, wait. I have a bigger disappointment. My bigger disappointment is that Jake Trumper did not watch that short film.
Hey, you DM'd it to me, and I will watch it someday. I will watch it before
Someday.
Brickworld Chicago. You have my word. You
Okay.
have my word.
I think at this point we need a reaction video of Jake Trumper watching.
I'm not gonna do a reaction video, but I will watch it. You have my word. That is. I owe it to you. You sold me that Captain Rex set, so it's the least I could do. That figure's worth thousands, isn't he? That's what
Yeah,
I
it
heard
is. Yeah,
last.
it's up to like 1,200 at this point, I think.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. But
But let's talk about the garage sale.
Yeah.
Some honest criticism, maybe some genuine criticism, maybe kind criticism.
it
Is that-
felt it was very abrupt ending, and the guy on the PA system, it was not a good PA system. So when he made the announcement that there was about 10 minutes left, it was like if you weren't standing in the very front and you were in the back, you did not hear that there was 10 minutes left.
You heard.
It felt like you were in the Peanut special and the
Yes.
parents were talking to you. It was you could not understand him, and then by the time they were like 2 minutes and they caught on that people couldn't hear him, it was just them yelling it through their hands, and then they just turned the lights off on us. So get a better PA system would be my recommendation. Not hating or anything, but just that way we can hear and know how much time we have, because
Yeah.
I think there was some people
Yeah.
still definitely trying to buy some stuff and didn't know that they needed to make that choice quicker.
I think that
I would agree with you there,
aside,
Jake.
aside from the ending, I didn't have any problems with it.
Okay, so you
think
think
it was
the
run better
new
than last
system worked a lot
Well,
better?
so here's my thing. So like,
Yeah.
imagine there's like someone who has like, like maybe there's like a special needs person or child in there that like, instantly turning off the lights. Like maybe that's like, it's like that. I feel like that's just not cool to do. No
Yeah.
warning. Like you never know what situation someone else would be in.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely a fair
Yeah.
point. Of
I feel
'cause
like that could have been more well thought out.
they
Mhm.
didn't turn them off, or
No, they
didn't turn,
did.
pardon, they
They-
didn't turn them
they
back
turned them
on.
on.
They just
Yeah.
They
left
turned them
off.
back on, but they like abruptly
did.
took them off.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was like it was longer than it wasn't like oh intermission's over, we're turning on and off. It was just like lights are off,
Yeah.
lights
No,
are
I
off.
was
It
thinking
just- it
like, yeah, I was like thinking
abrupt.
about that, and I mentioned it to a couple of you after. Like, you never know, like if someone with like a sensory difference is in there, and like maybe that's, you know, like a challenge for them. Like I
Yes.
feel like,
And
don't
speaking
know.
on that, in favor of the garage sale is I do think I didn't like the ticket system. I actually was kind of very against it, and like in
Mhm.
protest, I didn't even get a ticket. I was like, I'll go in at the end. I don't need one. It was my silent protest. It actually
yeah.
worked out pretty well. It was not nearly as crowded. It like last year, if someone was sensitive to like crowds, oh my god, you would not be able to be in there. We were all butt to gut. It was stressful. It was hard to even like talk and buy something. This year you at least got a chance to. I got in late, and I still like I was in that no ticket group, so I was very
9
and I
p.m. -ish.
still. I didn't get to buy this display set I really wanted to buy, which was super cool. And my buddy sent me a picture, and I was like, I'll get it. But I still found sets that I was looking for. There were still opportunities to get good deals
Yeah.
and everything. At least the guy now who's shirtless in Andy's video has a little bit of a shirt
I'm
covering
glad.
him. That's
yeah,
nice.
I'm
Step
glad
up.
there's no pectoral region visible.
Yeah, it's
now.
better than mine. I'm just in a car as it progressively gets darker outside. So, oh, now he has sunglasses. Andy, who is that?
That
I'm
looks like
so
a different
confused.
person. I think there's two
I
or three.
apologize. I'm not in my usual location.
Andy's at camp right now.
Andy,
that's what it is.
you've got one more strike, and then you're getting
I
cabooded.
didn't do anything. This is
So.
out of my control.
Say your piece. Say what you want the people to know you think about Brickworld Chicago.
I want the people to know that this was not my intention to disrupt the stream in this way, and I apologize, CPA. No, genuinely, for any disturbances during this time. I tried
He got
to
a
mute
strike
myself
because of this,
accordingly.
because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to. 18
No,
plus
I
content.
think you're good, but
Start playing copyrighted music.
Yeah.
That'll really help. That'll make him feel better.
Yeah. I was here to talk business. I was here to be serious about it, but apparently we can't have nice things. So
No, we really cannot.
I think
Tyler,
they're all gone
you-
now, though.
I don't think we talked about the garage sale when you
No.
and Ryan were on. But what were you feeling about the garage sale? Did you pick anything up? Did you think it worked better this year?
So I was just selling stuff personally, but the first thing I can say, which again, I mean that just sucks. Like it's like a double negative. It's like I want to sell off some of this access clearance BS that like I don't need. Like I want to offload that, but then it's also like I can't buy. You know what I mean? And so like at my table, like there was like Sean and Brent and a lot of people were kind of putting like their stuff they were buying like behind my stuff just to like secure and kind of free their hands. And it's like some of the deals I was hearing they were getting, it genuinely made me just want to leave my spot and just not sell anymore and just go get stuff. But so that kind of sucks. But there's nothing really to fix that. You gotta kind of pick one or the other. But I think, I mean, look, this is a tall ask, and I don't think it will ever happen. And I guess it doesn't even have to be this much of an extreme, but just like how the convention hall itself is technically 24 hours, I think what would be really, really cool is if they just get a different room, technically maybe even a little bit smaller than what that was if needed, if that's all they can get, or just the same room or the same size. But if they could literally open it up where that is also 24/7, where literally people can just come, like anyone at any point, like if some random or anybody, if one of us just wants to literally post up for 30 minutes in there and just like sell some stuff, just post up, or say there's 12 sellers in there, like maybe not 24 hours might be a little much, but like they should keep it to like
5 to 8.
I don't know, man. Like, I mean,
Still
3, 4, 5 hours.
I think that's.
I feel like
yeah.
logistically that
or not
it could
private
get a
days,
little
but-
messy, yeah. But I like the sentiment there. Like I feel like
I think it could work, especially for bigger creators, because you guys could post your socials. You're guaranteed to have people there. They're going to see on your socials. I think while Tyler was explaining it, he like the 24 hours would be goofy. Like some person's like, I'm going to sell my stuff at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
How's that gonna work?
he's in there for an hour and not a
Yeah.
person walks in there.
no
buying
one
it.
here.
if you have creators all going at different times, like you don't overlap each other, like
Yeah.
different blocks of stuff, like vendors even or whatever, like
because
people who have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because I think putting a time where it ends still works because no one wants Andy showing up in his socks at 2 a.m. to buy some Lego sets. But I genuinely think that'd be super cool, especially like you still have the garage sale for like the smaller creators who might not be able to pull as many people who need that like collective time where everyone goes in. But if there's a bigger creator who like you post on your Snap or Instagram, people will pull up. Yeah, on your Snapchat. But like if you post on that and you're like, hey, I'm doing a 10 p.m. to midnight sale, come on in. There's going to be people, you're going to sell stuff, and then you can go to that larger general one, and now you can actually enjoy seeing the random stuff that people are selling, because there's some crazy stuff there. Like the display sets that I see every year, I try to buy as much of those as I can because those are my weakness.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think like the one divide in that, and I guess I mean this might even be it's one of those conversations where it's like, you know, how much do you really want to speak like publicly on it? But it's like, as CPA kind of brought up a little bit earlier too, it's like some of like this I mean, who knows if it's really happening? Like I've seen a couple posts myself and like, you know, a couple run-ins like in person type of thing, like a little bit of that, but like, you know, kind of the divide that I feel like especially happened this year, but it's kind of been building up of like, you know, you know, kind of, you know, as CPA brought up earlier, like the mockers and like the, you know, kind of the influencer part, like that kind of divide, like, you know, who, what kind of space, and even more so now, like you're talking about this garage sale, like the vendors, you know, that are paying money to vend there versus, you know, say someone like me or whatever that, you know, say, I mean, whatever, you know, I pay $5 to get my table in there, but like I have like my own hour block, and like for any of us that do that, it's like I can see how from like a business perspective, like on Mark's end, where you know, you start getting into that, that's going to be, I feel like that's going to, like if you end up like splitting Brickworld like 50-50 mocks and like influencer, you know, stuff like that kind of like corner, but like just maximize it more, and then you also on top of that do, you know, where the influencers as well, you know, quote unquote, you know, can literally just vend pretty much for free, like you know, if you do all of that, I mean, I really do think you're going to start drawing that hard line of like drama between
what
you know,
if,
kind of the attendees at Brickworld, you know.
What if you did it where the influencers, because I notice usually by like 10 p.m. most of the time the vendors have closed. They're like, all right, we're done. So after 10 p.m. is when the influencers are selling.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would work from there. I mean, it's also another thing, and it's like, you know, I had a little run-in with one of the vendors because I bought something off of a table in front of them, and they, you know, he came over and he gave me he gave us the spiel. At first, I thought he was just joking, but you know, he said, you know, yeah, he's like, you know, I paid $500 to vend at my table. You know, how much did this table cost? Because you know, I was buying some stuff, and at first I thought he was effing around, but like the thing is with that, it's like I wish I could have told that guy right then and there, look, I am. Like, you know, say, because I spent like $200 like with a friend, like I just was buying some stuff. So it's like I spent say $200 right then, and like, you know, I guess in his sentiment is like, you know, he thought that maybe, you know, my friend took $200 of business from say the vendor across the thing because I spent it with my friend, not him. But like, I wish I could just look at him and just be serious. Like, look, man, like I will never buy a single thing from your booth. Your stuff is 40% over market value. This $200 I gave my friend would have never touched your wallet in your lifetime.
Ever.
So it's like, why does it matter that there's a private deal going on over here when this money would have never touched your pockets anyway? It's like, I wish I could say that to him.
100%, because it's like, hey,
and that's the same for a lot of this stuff, dude. That's what I mean, 100%. All of us, like everyone that goes, like 80% of like private attendees, like again, it doesn't matter who you are, dude. I mean, you know, if you have no subs, I mean, no matter who you are, like if you go to these conventions for a year or two, like you will start realizing that it is the reality of it. That these vendors are, you know, dude, and I feel like it's getting worse. I mean, this year was like these other years, man. Like I was at least able to go in there and like get something for myself and kind of like just like, you know, sure, you pay a little convention tax, like that's fine. Like you have a memory on top of it. You know, it's worth $20 in my opinion. But it's like this year, I couldn't even go in there and get a single thing for myself. Where like I could warrant the 50% markup of just like, oh yeah, I got it at Brickworld. Like that, you know, a Brickworld memory ain't worth 50% markup. You know, it's worth 10-20, but it's like this year was real bad. So
I don't want to like name names or anything, but like I saw people who had like current available sets for like 50% markup. Like
so to piggyback off that, so my first year ever going, I just got the general admission pass, right? And that's when the Daily Bugle was out, and I saw the Daily Bugle at the event. I had general admission for $500, and I almost bought it. And then my buddy Zane, who was with me, so this was 3 years ago, he was like, wait, let's just look at the Lego store that's 20 minutes away. He's like, they've got it in stock. Let's go. And we got it for the 350 or whatever it was for. It's not, the Lego store is not sneaking in and stealing their business. As a general admission person, when you get super excited, it's that emotional buy. Yeah. The odds of you getting
that's kind of their target audience there.
So that's what I'm saying is the vendors, it seems like they should put their primary focus on the general admission people. The people who've got the name badges, I've noticed even if you're like a smaller creator like myself, or you got 0 subscribers, or like you were saying, Tyler, you're still friends with a larger creator, or you know someone. Like you're still talking with people who are trying to sell their stuff. Like the Mando Battle Pack, right? A vendor selling it for like $75, and your buddy's like, yeah, I'll give it to you for 15. That's how much it should be. You were never going to give them 75. You looked at anyone, oh, that's cool. When I find that for 15 at a clearance sale at a TJ Maxx, I'll get it. Or your buddy gives it to you for 15. It was never a chance of that. They should be going to the general admission people and not be getting mad at us for not being as
and if I had to wager, like, I mean, I'm just throwing random numbers out here, but I would like imagine probably 80% of their sales are those public hours.
Yeah. And dude, some of the, I mean, again, I could only imagine, dude, how many like of the normies go in there that like, dude, you know, that just like they go to the booth and they're like, because I see this all online, and it's like, look, dude, I can't blame people for not going to 25 Walmarts every week like I do. Like I can't blame people, but like you see some of these people online that say like, you know, I checked my Walmart, you know, one time in the past 6 months, and you know, I didn't find the battle pack there. It's like, yeah, you look one time at one Walmart, but then they're going to go to, you know, but I feel like these vendors are lucky because some of these parents are probably like, they go to their booths and they're like, bro, I haven't, I haven't seen this ever. It's like, I'll pay $100 here, you know, like that type of thing.
I saw that with like the Steamboat Willie set. A lot of people wanted that set. I heard General they'd be talking about. They're like, yeah, this price isn't too bad. I was like, no, obviously I would never do that because I never actually want to step up. Like if someone wants to buy something, I will never tell them no, because then that crosses that line. I think if you're like, no, you can find it cheaper to like someone with general admission, that crosses a line. You're stepping on vendors' toes because then you are taking money.
I mean, hey, you shut a tier form and that's it.
Exactly, because then you
talking
are
about
taking
the OG Steamboat Willie or like the promo.
I can't remember. I don't know which one there, but I knew when I saw it, I was like, that is up price. And I watched them buy it in my head. I was like, you're overpaying, but I'm glad because it's a twofer. If they never know that they overpaid, they got to get a set that they wanted in a space that they're having an incredible time at. It is that vendor tax is 100% worth it. You just made a great memory with your dad, your buddy. Your dad bought you the set you've always wanted. There is a place for vendors, and I support them full-heartedly. But as someone who knows Lego price sets, like all of us at least have a general idea, right? Yeah. We see it and we're like, yeah, we would never do that. So me talking to my buddy and buying something from my buddy is taking nothing from your wallets. Me telling people don't buy from here, that's taking from your wallet, but we would never do that.
And I feel like it is on the customer to an extent. Like before I buy anything, unless it's like food, I don't know. Like you do your research beforehand. Yeah. Like,
wait, you're telling me you don't check eBay comps on your Chipotle or on your Qdoba? You don't check eBay comps on your
Chipotle? That's what I'm going for these days, right? Yeah, but like if I'm spending like $50+ on something, like whether it's like a piece of tech, like Lego set, I generally know the price. Like pretty much anything, you gotta kind of look into prices and market value, whatever. Like, is this actually a good price to pay for it? You know, got to be in that college student saving money mindset a little bit, right?
Well, and we're fortunate too, where if we're anywhere, whether it's at a flea market, Lego convention, anything, like we're fortunate where, we literally got Bricklink preloaded on, like we just type in B, we go to Bricklink, and it's like we look up the number, and in 2 minutes we'll know. Like, I mean, like we're fortunate, but like the average consumer thinks Bricklink sells fake Lego, so it's like, I mean, so that doesn't help them.
I've even had coworkers like say to me like, "Oh, is this a good price for this set?" And I'm like, "Oh, use Bricklink." Like,
coworkers
it's a great resource.
At the Lego store.
Yeah.
No way.
That's
wild. Lego flea markets are crazy with like Lego sets. I don't know how to describe it. They write it, they go LEGOS Legos, and I'm like, ooh, I'm about to get a good deal. I already know.
That is true. When you see Legos on the listing, you're gonna get a good, or when you see Legos like on a post-it note or something on top of it, you're gonna get a good deal.
They're either going to like completely overestimate how much it's worth, or most of the time it's like an older guy and he's like, I don't know how much it's all worth. I'm like, I'm gonna get you a fair price, but I'm definitely going to get a deal myself. And it's, something about Iowa flea markets. Everyone I go to, there's always Lego there, and it is the one good thing about living in Iowa.
I've never been to a flea market.
Dude, they're awesome.
Me either.
They're not really like as big of a thing out here. I feel like it's like
Yeah.
a more like Midwest, Southern thing.
I mean, if you go to like
Midwest.
New Hampshire, there's some,
Yeah.
but like not in our area really.
Yeah. When I was living in South Carolina, I definitely saw like posters that people had for them, but like I just don't think it's a thing near me.
All right,
I think there's one in like Seekonk, but
I just noticed it's getting very dark, so now it looks like this void is just taking over me. So I'm gonna get out of here because my lighting is terrible now, and you guys all have good ones. It literally just progressively a void has been taken over. So I'm gonna get out of here. CPA, I can't thank you enough for the invite,
absolutely.
Tyler. I'm so glad we even publicly squashed the beef that no one knew about. Beef that no one knew about, but now they do know, and they do know it's squashed. So. And Andy and Jeff, it's always truly an
always
honor.
a pleasure, Jake.
I love you
Always a
guys. It's always fun. CPA, thank you again, man.
Dude,
I'm gonna be all clunky and trying to leave because I don't know. Do I just press the X button down here?
Press the
yeah,
big
leave
red
studio,
X.
click that.
The big red X.
Yeah,
All right,
Just hit it.
Thank you.
Smash
thank
it.
you.
Squash it.
Okay, squash it. Squash the beef. All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Dude,
See you, man.
thanks. See you later.
Bye.
Jake is a 9.9 out of 10. Love that guy.
Yeah, rate everyone. I want to go around the room and rate that interaction.
Heater interaction, dude.
Heater interaction.
So
A
getting
9-8.
9-8, okay. Getting back to the
9-8.
topic at hand, Brickworld, of course. Month later, how you all feeling, Jeff and Andy? How you guys feeling about Brickworld 30 days, almost to the day later?
I mean, it was good. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
good.
I feel the same
Yeah.
way about it that I did 30 days ago.
30 days ago, it hasn't
Yeah.
it hasn't ruminated in your heart
Yeah,
anymore.
well, here's the
Has
thing.
it
is
gone
that,
No, I
from
actually
your
completely
head to
forgot
your
about
heart?
it.
Once I got back, I've like the last 4 weeks have been kind of nonstop, so I haven't had
Mm.
time to like sit and think about much of anything. Like I'm just moving on to the next thing, and it's probably
That's
gonna
fair.
be that way for like the rest of the year for me, to be honest. But it's good. It's a good kind of busy. So I'm always looking forward to next year, though. Feel like it's in that point where like you're kind of still reminiscing about last year, but like the feeling of like next year's anticipation hasn't quite set in yet. I feel like it kind of starts when like you buy your tickets in November, December. Then it really starts to build up and get exciting.
Yeah. So Tyler, like I said at the beginning, you're all about that hype. When is the ideal time for you to really start building up the hype for 2025? Do you start now, or do you start?
I mean,
like
yeah, I
Andy
started
said,
I
during
started
pre-orders?
the minute I left the parking lot. I mean, that's when I started. But
The walkaway image, he was thinking about 2025 and he
Yeah.
said, yeah.
Well,
Hey,
that's
that
the
suitcase was
time.
actually packed for 2025. That's what that
That was
suitcase
the single most iconic image to come out of this year's convention, for sure.
So
The single most iconic is the one of Zach and Andrew with the bird, but the public.
No,
waters,
it was walkaway. It was walkaway, dude. The cultural impact that walkaway has is unmatched.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Andy and Jeff, what is your guys' history of Lego conventions? Like, has it only been Brickworld Chicago? Has it been
Yes.
post 2020?
Yeah.
Has it been other ones prior? Like what's your history's been?
So
with
I
Lego conventions?
like
Unless you
sometime
count
in the
Legoland New
early-
York, but that's not a convention.
In the early 2010s, I went to like a Boston convention, maybe mid 2010s. It was like a very small thing, and I went with my grandparents because I was like staying with them for the weekend or something. My parents were out of town. I was a kid, it was fun. But then I kind of like started to meet these guys. They had been friends for longer before I kind of got involved in this group. We kind of all had Eric in common. Like he was kind of the uniting force behind our group. And so we met up in Legoland in 2021. There was no Brickworld. But then 2022, we started to talk about it, and we had Eric, which was like a very useful resource. Shout out Eric, because he'd been there before, and I think he did like 2018 and 2019, maybe a couple other ones. So Eric was like a great kind of guide for our first year there. He's like a tremendous person. He was driving us around. Really, really great guy. Just to like have and to be friends with. Like Jeff is like smiling. I'm complimenting Eric.
No, I was reading the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, but Eric is like it genuinely would not be possible without him.
Nice.
So we're really lucky to have him. He's a couple years older, so we can get the rental car. So we had a great time in 2022. Brought it back for 2023. We doubled the size of our group, got a bigger house, more fun than ever. And then moving into 2024, we had the same crew rolling again. 2025 looks like it's going to be like downscale a little bit. A couple members might not be coming back for various
Oh no,
reasons.
is it public yet? Who's not going?
Well, I don't want to speak on like others,
It's
but
not
like
confirmed,
it's
but-
nothing to do with like anything wrong with our friend group. It's just
No
people
beef.
having
People have
conflicts.
other plans.
Squashed.
Yeah, nothing bad.
Dude, I'll
like,
always say this, man. I mean, dude, your group of 10 or 9 or 10 or 11. I mean, that's a solid damn group, man. I have a fun time every year talking.
yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
Oh, it's a great group. I love every person there, different reasons. Yeah, but
I did
think
hear a
one-
rumor that Squidman's showing up next year.
to fill in the gaps, yeah.
I
Yeah,
believe
one or
it.
two people might not be showing. I'll let them like, say that on their own. Like it's nothing too personal or anything,
Yeah.
but I just don't want to, announce that on someone else's behalf.
And Jeff, same with you. 22 was technically your first.
Every time I've been was with Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I'm
were
curious.
joking even
Andy
that we
said
were like
that-
attached at the hip in 22. Like Jeff and I really did everything together.
So Jeff, so did you guys? So Andy said that you guys, like, Jeff and you guys were all like friends beforehand. I'm just curious, was that all formed through the Lego space, or did you guys know each other personally?
No,
Like, any of you guys know are any of you guys prior personal friends, or is it all just Lego?
Nope. No, yeah, it was all through Lego and our common interest in that. Yeah.
Andy and
Jeff
I didn't even find out that we lived in the same state for a while.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it's crazy because like now I see Jeff like pretty much every week, and like it's awesome how like
Well, you guys are that close to each other, like.
Yeah, we're about like 40 minutes away from each other. I mean,
that's
we've only
sweet.
been
Awesome.
to each other's houses a couple times. We're usually meeting up for movies because that's our thing. But yeah, I'll see Jeff now like 1 or 2 times a week usually, and like it's just a great thing that in this modern era, like you can meet people who have a common interest in you, and like Jeff and I have like gotten each other like Lego deals and all this stuff, and like just a great friendship blossomed from a common interest. I'm really appreciative to have it.
There you go. That's just one example of the beautiful thing. One of the beautiful things that Lego can do. Brings people together.
Yeah, I'm glad to have this guy in my life.
I'm glad to have you.
I can see you blushing, Jeff. That was an amazing tribute.
And
now,
same with Eric, Gil, Brendan, Joe, Zach, Andrew, everyone in our group. Yeah.
All right,
I'm
Jeff,
glad that Joe and I squashed the beef last year. I'm glad. Although
Joe loves you. Joe is a big LifeBricks fan. He might not want to say it outright, but he is a big LifeBricks supporter.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's just the thing, man. Like the entire group you guys roll with, like each one of you guys have like your own like quirks and features. You know what I mean? It's just like it's incredible, man. Like everyone's so unique and just you guys all mesh together well.
Yeah, no, it is kind of crazy, like how we have like all like I feel like there are very different types of people in our group, but I feel like we bounce off of each other's energy pretty well. Like, like Eric, like he lives in Florida, like he's super far away from me. He's in the military. Like I don't know anyone in the military other than him. Like, we're just like very different people, but we have like the similar interests, which is cool. People from different countries in our group, like all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
it's awesome. It's always cool, and being able to be not like sort of parallel with your group for a little bit, and then just kind of on and off conversations throughout the year has been enjoyable overall.
Hey, we're lucky to have you, CPA. The 3-person group chat, you, me, and Jeff. That's a 9.9 out of 10 group chat.
Group chat. And
some solid discussions in there for sure.
I feel like though it's a good example of how Brickworld and I know I talked about it with Mrs. CPA a couple weeks ago. There are cliques, but clique isn't the right word, I feel, because that has certain connotations. But there's different groups all in Brickworld, but they all kind of collide in a good way throughout the weekend.
I mean,
and
like we have our main group, right? Yeah, but like you guys, like there was that one night where all of us in our group, and then you two, CPA and Tyler and Mrs. CPA, were all talking upstairs. Like,
oh yeah,
yep,
yeah. Like when you throw extra people in our group, like generally always welcome, right? Like,
well, see, I almost view them as like home bases. You know what I mean? I almost view it as like think like I view it as kind of that way because it's like think about like like kind of like the Andy and Jeff and you guys like your like little like that's almost like in your group itself. I know you guys are kind of out and about doing a lot of stuff anyway, but like your group itself and just for an example, like, your mock tables are kind of like that home base for you guys, where it's like maybe like, the regroup position, put your stuff underneath the tables, kind of maybe know that someone's always going to be there type of thing, like that type of thing. So you guys have home bases, and it's like, I feel like each group has that, and that's kind of what like to consider it as, but not to say that, people can't travel to other bases. You know what I mean? Plenty of pathways to other bases out there. And it's like, I feel like, I mean, that's something I've realized too more in the past couple of years. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, the more I've realized, like, there really ain't like anybody like scary in the community. It's like, it's just so like, because believe me, I'm talking to people that like I never really thought I would have. I wasn't scared of them, but like, I think it's just the truth of like, it's just so easy, man. Like, there's just so many between whether it's a group of people, or if it's just like one person, like, literally chopping it up for 5-10 minutes with someone, like anyone. It's just like, it's just so easy there. And it's just like, that's just one thing I love.
Yeah, I do. I 100% agree. Like, like the vast majority of the new people that I've met at Brickworld have been like great people that I, connect with and strike a great conversation with.
Go back to meeting Joe. I think that's a good example.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. We met Joe at Brickworld. We never would have really met him if it weren't for Brickworld. There was just one night where Jeff and I were doing a mosaic on the board, and Joe was just standing near us, and we started talking to him, and we were like, "Hey, you want to go through all of the lights with us, or Hall of Lights night, whatever it's called,
World of Lights."
World of Lights. Thank you. I was thinking of the Kanye song. Yeah. So like, that's just how we met him. Now we've been friends for over 2 years now. That's kind of crazy. But I was going to agree with what Tyler said. Yeah. And I feel like I kind of regret not talking to more new people this year. I think I only met like 1 or 2 new people really during the night that I was talking with Nicole. Shout out to Nicole, Girl Bricks a lot. If you don't follow her, she introduced me to one of her friends who was really nice. And I feel like that was like really the only new person other than Zane, other than I guess Mrs. CPA too. Shout out Mrs. CPA.
Yep.
I feel like those were like really the only new people I met. So next year I'm gonna try to make that a goal. Expand a little more.
Did I ask this question before? Since we've had a couple of crews coming in and out. Favorite memories of the weekend?
Ask this question.
Did I ask it already?
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
I feel like
I answered Jake getting canceled. I think that was
and Jake was talking about how I got in his car and ran across the street barefoot. Yeah.
Those were our 2 favorite memories.
Yep.
But you didn't answer, did you, Andy?
I didn't know. Gosh, favorite memories.
Actually, I'll give an honorary mention to something that nobody else out of our group will know about. But our conversation about Tuesday, it was up there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Favorite memory, I don't mean to get I feel like I've been kind of like sappy and sentimental this whole stream, but Brickworld truly is like a special time.
I agree, man. Hey, it's very special.
Just so many great people in one spot. The day that we went into Chicago with Sarah, Just Too Good, and just like I had introduced myself the previous year. We went to see the movies together, but like just getting to know her better. She was like giving me all these film recommendations. And she's someone that I've like been watching her videos since I was, probably 11 or 12 years old. I'm 20 now. A long time. And like learning that we like had so much in common, and like she gave me this whole list of movies to watch, and she's just like the sweetest, most down to earth person. And I was so happy for her when she won the new attendee award at the end of the ceremonies. That was just such a great moment. So I was like really proud of someone else in that moment, and like it it made me very satisfied that she was recognized in that way, because she 100% deserves it.
Yeah, man, you're getting sappy.
I know.
Roll with the sap.
I promise. Like I'm usually like all jokes and everything.
He's a very emotional person, guys. This is
no. Like I just gotta shout out some people. People. Who
I feel it, Andy, man. When it's only one time a year.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
a lot of time to think about the memories.
Yeah.
So next year, you all talked about next year a little bit. The group might change a little bit, but is there anything, you said meeting more people, anything you're looking forward to specifically next year? Obviously, kind of like what Ryan was saying, it does, I'm not going to say it gets routine, but you kind of know what to expect year over year.
Yeah.
Some things might happen that you won't expect, but overall, I mean, you're going to have a great time. It's
super
going to be
random. And I just thought of this, but I like obviously huge Star Wars fan. I'm hoping to see some Revenge of the Sith mocks next year, some good ones for 20th anniversary.
Mhm.
I really was into the Star Wars mocks this year. You know, I'm hoping some people cook up some good stuff. So, and I'm excited for a mock collab that I'm a part of.
Ooh. For the
I'm specifically
third...
looking forward to avoiding every single Revenge of the Sith mock.
To avoiding every
Yeah,
single
yeah,
okay, all
every
right.
single
Is
one.
that a thing
See-
that's common where people do themed mocks based on the year, or?
I saw a few Phantom Menace ones this year. Yeah, I'm in 22 there was like that big Endor. CPA wasn't there in 22, but there was a guy who did like a huge Endor for Return of the Jedi. I think like the Star Wars
No,
fans
wasn't
are
that-
pretty
That was
cognizant of
23,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah, RTJ is
'Cause we
80.
helped build part of it. Yeah, we helped build part of it.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
s-
yeah.
I think I saw
Return
that
of the
one
Jedi was
in-
2023,
Yeah.
and the anniversary was that year. I don't know why I just like
Okay.
crossed wires there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it
correct.
proves how forgettable the OT is, right?
What?
That's
Okay,
an
all
L
right.
take.
That's apples to oranges right there. I don't think we need a whole Star Wars debate right now.
No,
'Cause I
yeah,
know there are
that
very
will be,
different
I don't know.
opinions in this
CPA. If I start that, CPA is gonna
I'll just
drive to my house
remove
and
you
beat
all.
me
Yeah,
up.
I'll throw
Um,
CPA a bone
and
here and
physically
not,
kick me off
not
the
give out
screen.
any Star Wars opinions, but you know, acolyte discussion stream next week, maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe, maybe.
I am ready for the Sith
I-
infiltrator to be
yes.
flying around, man. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
Spoilers.
man! It better happen.
Okay, so let's round it out to some final.
Yeah, I do have to go
Brickworld-
soon. I just realized how long I've been in this. Oops.
Final
no, I
final
had a great time,
thoughts on 2024. What do you want the people to remember about 2024 Brickworld Chicago?
I want people to remember my mock that nobody knew what it was based off of, and there
It's
were
a
probably
great
like two
mock,
people
yeah.
who remembered it.
It was a really
But-
so did literally no one recognize it, or did
There,
anyone?
there were two people who knew what the movie was, and both of them were people I had already known, and that's not counting
Oh.
people who were in the Airbnb with us.
I don't know if that counts.
What do I want people to remember about 2024?
Or you guys can give your non-rookie score.
Also, Squidman, I will actually buy all of those if you'll show up next year.
Oh, 2024 was a 9.6 out of 10.
9.6.
What I want people to remember, I want people to remember that house mock, the guy made of houses. That was really cool. I
That
liked
was
that.
really awesome.
Yeah,
What?
the dude made out of houses, the giant. Remember the guy who built the Wayne Manor and Batcave? Guy with the really
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
mustache.
yeah.
Yeah. His mock this year. Yeah, it won a bunch of awards.
What was it? I don't
Was
It
know.
the
was
dude-
a person made out of houses. It was like a mech, a house mech.
I feel like I think I know what you're talking about,
It
but
was
I don't
huge.
remember
It was like
being-
the size of an
I don't-
actual person.
I
Yeah.
remember the I remember the size of an actual person mech thing, but I don't think I realized it was made out of houses.
It was like pretty close to us too. Yeah.
And it was really awesome at the World of
I think I
Lights.
know what
It
you're
looked
talking about.
really cool.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see.
All right, I do gotta go. Thank you so much, CPA, for having me
Yes,
on. I apologize for
absolutely.
the disturbances early on, but I'm glad we could have a great discussion afterwards.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you so much for stopping by. And
Always a pleasure, Tyler, Jeff.
I'm sure we'll
Good
see
looks.
you both. We'll
Okay,
see you
man.
both next year. Okay, I'm gonna. I
It's
think
weird.
I did send the link to Stud City, so I might try and get him in here. We'll see if he's in the queue.
I think the biggest take home of 24 to me, and to kind of project everyone else, is literally go to 25. If you did not go to 20, like I don't know how much more we got to do. Like if anyone's listening to this, all right, right now, replay anytime. All right.
Is next
If
year the year
you
they're going to
are
a bigger
thinking about
location?
going, go. I'll leave it at that.
Agreed.
Do you know, Tyler? Is next year the year they're changing locations to a bigger one, or is that
Mhm.
after? Next year?
CPA set through 20, so that means including 27,
Correct.
right? And
Yeah.
they have the Renaissance, so yeah,
Okay.
28 would be the soonest they'd change, right?
Okay.
Yo, Jeff, what are your thoughts on that? I don't know if you have a
My thoughts
working
on what?
knowledge of downtown Chicago and just like the different event centers, but
Oh yeah, I think they should go to that cool convention
The
center
McCormick?
somewhere. And, yeah, sure.
So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
Jeff,
yeah,
you
that
do
one.
think they
that
need to
one.
expand?
I mean, I don't think. I don't know how much they need to expand, but I think if they had a little bit more space, it might be better. I didn't organize the convention, so I don't know how much request for display space there was, but it did feel like
I heard there was
able to
quite a
fill
lot
this.
that had to get taken out. So think about it.
Yeah,
It was
so
as
if there
max.
was a lot that had to get taken
Yeah.
out, then I do think they would benefit from expanding.
Do you think
Again, I don't know
as
the business case behind it, but
well, Jeff, do you think as Ryan brought up, do you think it would be better off them? Sure, I mean, sure, it's gonna be a couple of years till they can do it anyway. But like, just figure of speech, like, if would it be better for them to kind of run that business risk of going to a whole new spot, not have the connections they have, like with the hotel they have now, and like how nice Mark's got it set up there and everything. Is it better for them to expand to fit the growth of new more mockers and more people coming in, or would you be fine, and do you think it's better for them just to raise that like $125 5-day pass up to say like 150, raise it up like 10%, 20%, to then say whittle out a few people, but then stay in Renaissance still? What do you think?
I feel like it would be better to expand it. I don't think it would really. I mean, I guess the only people that would benefit is like the fact that they don't have to take on additional risk. But I think for everyone going to the convention, it would be better if they expanded it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
I don't know,
definitely
maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's not.
there's
But
certainly give and take.
No, I want them to expand too, Jeff. Believe me.
yeah.
I'm curious to know what new people they would get by expanding, because you're certainly going to get new people. It's just, are you
I mean,
gaining
I
more
think-
people than losing?
I don't know how many people they would lose if they went to a bigger space, because most people travel some distance anyway.
Well, but think about it though, Jeff. I mean, it's just the fact of it. If they, I mean, this is, I think,
So
I mean, this is
the biggest thing
clear
they
as
would lose is probably having that hotel block, right?
Yeah, they
They
would
wouldn't
have a very
necessarily have
tough
that same
time
deal.
getting. You would not be getting a
day.
hotel
Not
for
year one, I don't think.
$150
Yeah,
a
especially
night.
not year one.
Yeah.
For 'em.
I mean, they can bring the numbers and say, hey, hotel, because I don't even think there isn't even a hotel attached to it. You're having to stay somewhere.
In McCormick.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's one.
Again, I don't know any convention centers.
Oh,
in Chicago.
yeah, true.
I
Jeff is
I
800
have
miles
no
away.
idea.
I mean, there's that, and then Tyler, have you been to Donnelly Stevens in Rosemont?
I have not. No.
So that one is.
Is that the one where the Fan Expo is happening? The Fan Expo Chicago in a couple months.
Maybe,
The one with Hayden and Mark Hamill there.
very likely. Let's see. Let me look it up. Yes, Donnelly Stevens. Yep.
Okay.
That's
I
the
was
one.
gonna go there, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. It was like $800 for a pick with Hayden and Mark, and
I believe it.
I don't know. I told myself, look, I mean, I mainly want the pick. I don't even really. I wouldn't even pay Mark Hamill like $1 to get an individual pick with him. So it's like I'm valuing that as like a $799 Hayden picture, and then the premium of just like seeing, because who knows if they'll ever do it again. Although the more I'm thinking about it, they probably will. They advertise it now as like a one-time only, first time ever. Them being together for a photo op. But
Yeah.
we all know dang well they're going to be doing that plenty more times when they rake in $50,000 for taking pics together.
Sean is holding some filthy secrets in his beard. He said, "There's so much I want to say but can't."
Well, speaking of, I know you guys even said how many new people they would bring in. That's a good point, because think about it for a second, dude. All the marketing for, the Schaumburg Lego convention is Brickworld Chicago already. Okay, so hear me out on that. So, everyone that kind of like, when you think of Brickworld Chicago, that's obviously a big city, and everyone in the U.S. and probably international knows it, where it's like, if you want to even be in this realm of area and know anything about Chicago, sure, Schaumburg's 30, 40 away, but like it's already marketed as that. You know what I mean? So you're already getting everyone, that say would want to make that hike to Chicago. So going to like McCormick Place is not like you can kind of add that premium of, I mean, sure, but how are you going to advertise it easy? By saying, yeah, now we really are downtown Chicago. Like, is it going to be like Brickworld really in Chicago now? Like, you know what I mean? Is that going to be the tagline? So like, I agree with that. I guess I don't know how many new people they would get instantly just because of the change. So the first year or two honestly might be really possibly in the negative for them. I mean, if it's such a big expense to expand, and the audience of 10,000 people or whatever that walk through there doesn't go up, it might be a tough year or two. You know.
I mean, prices 100% would go up. I would say.
I guess to compensate for it. Yeah.
They would. Oh man, someone would have to convince Mark to double prices, just flat out.
So you're talking like maybe $50 for a public day, and we're talking $250, $300, $400 for the private.
So at the couple conventions, Wizard World, Walker Stalker that I've been to at Donald E. Stevens, prices for a Sunday were $45. Saturday C2E2 as well. Saturday I think was $50.
Wow, C2E2 is only $50 a day.
I think so.
Wow.
And then if you get the weekend pass, it's like $100 or something like that.
I don't know what that is.
So it's just
it's a Comic-Con pretty much, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Like a Chicago Comic-Con almost.
Yeah. And I mean, it's probably just happened, so we could even check what the prices were.
I went to the one in 2017 at C2E2. It was fun.
Okay, I think it went in 2016. Yeah, 2016. But I mean, prices, private days would have to be at least like $250 would be my guess.
Sean is saying everyone's making great points, and all this is being. It's still getting used to seeing that logo in the like. I don't recognize it right offhand. Like I'm not drawn right over to like the fact that's an ACOB comment, but I see he's saying everything's being carefully considered.
Okay, here we go. C2E2 prices. VIP package was $275. Comic VIP package $295. Celeb VIP package $300. Family VIP $325.
Wait, and the celeb package for Brickworld is pizza party with Ryan.
I mean, literally. Friday is $70. Saturday is $80. Sunday is $80. 3-day is $115.
Hiccup says in either scenario, prices go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
again, it's one of those things where, like, I mean, I think Brickworld is severely undervaluing themselves as is, but like, sure, like, I mean, it's just so tough, dude, because it's like, you know, any way you spin it, man, like, you know, sure, unless something like really financially weird happens to me, but like, you know, I am 100% content with, you know, paying $100 more, but like, I think I've got to view the aspect of like, there might be 20% of that, you know, group of people that say just maybe can't do the 50, but like then I also kind of rebuttal that where it's like, I mean, save $5 a month, you know what I mean? Don't grab a biggie bag one time a month and save the extra $5, and you know, but like, I don't know. I guess, you know, look, I'm gonna be honest here, and this is the hard reality. You know, I've gotten some comments on some of my videos in the past, some of these other streams I'm on, like with some of these things I say, and it's like, look, I agree, man. When I fully move out of the house and get on my own within a year or whatever, then my financial talk and how easy stuff is will be severely different, and I'll be in the real world, and yes, I will most likely have a huge reality check. I get it. Everyone that's gonna comment about that, that $50 extra at Brickworld, maybe I won't be advocating for it once I moved out.
It's part of life, part of how it is. So, all right, well, Jeff, thank you so much for stopping by. Stud City is hanging out in the back room, so I'm gonna have him tag in for a bit.
I will take off.
Thank you so much, and
see a CPA.
We'll continue talking in our Heater 3-person group chat.
Heater group chat. Yeah, I can't
100%.
wait. See you.
All right, see you, man.
Speaking of the celebrity VIP package, Stud City's here.
Stud City in the house. So I'm super curious when you get that check mark.
Oh, hey, you're muted.
Can't hear you. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, how was that experience last night, Tyler?
It was
being in person IRL for the one hundy.
Really good time, man. It was needed. I mean, I needed to check out his new place anyway since he moved in, but like it was all in all, did a really good, you know, 4 or 5 hour stretch there.
That's
real
awesome.
Solid.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yo, welcome, man. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you get in that check mark, is that like a process where you have to work through to?
They don't teach you these things in college, bro. No. I honestly have no idea. I'm assuming it's a little bit through the process of going with the plaque. Once that application kind of goes through, they kind of do the whole verification step, and they'll give you the check mark. So in realisticness, probably a 2 to 4 week thing tops, if not sooner.
Yeah.
But
No.
All I know is
super cool.
I chatted a few times and there's no check mark, so nothing's changed.
Have you gone in the studio yet and seen the option to do the plaque or no?
I have gone in this. I really have not been on my phone at all today, which is crazy. But I haven't seen any pop-ups for like any notifications or anything like that. I watched a few other like creators like just talk about it, and it said like 2 to 3 days. And then JB was here just at my house, and he was like, actually, he thinks you could just go and apply for it to verification. It's kind of the game's changed a little bit, but I'll definitely inform you guys as you guys will be there ASAP, right? So,
yo, Cristo, how would you feel if you get an email tomorrow saying that on Friday or Thursday, July 11th, they changed the threshold for the first play button to be 200K? How would you feel?
I would. I'd
no
probably be
chance.
at the like almost the quitting spot. I'd be like, bro. We were talking about it with Ryan a little bit earlier. It's like because JB mentioned like hitting 500,000 would be crazy. I'm like, not really, because there's no trophy at the end of the line. Like it's either 100 or 1 million, right? Like
yeah.
There's no trophy. That's
a good point, dude. That's a lot of like, I mean, not necessarily dead space, because I mean, more than likely, even if you're at 500K, you're very successful on YouTube. So like, you got that luxury, but like, that is a lot of dead space with no reward. Right. You know, for the average channel that like say isn't doing super viral blow up stuff. Like if you just have like natural growth of like, 5,000 subs a month, you know what I mean? Right. Imagine that difference between 100K and a mil, bro. I mean, wow, that's a long hike.
Even 5,000 subs a month is like tremendous growth, but like from 100,000 to 1 million at 5,000 a month is like, bro, that's years.
20 times 10, so 200 months. I mean, that's like 12 years, man. Oh my god.
That's kind of disgusting.
That's like 16 years, 18 years.
No, it's a lot of.
It's disgusting to think about. Like that's being really successful too. 5,000 subs a month is crazy.
No, that is a lot. I mean, again, if you're just doing, I mean, there's plenty of chances that, I mean, once you're at 100, I mean, you're getting a K a month. If you're getting a K a month, I mean, that's even more. That's 50 years.
Yeah.
Right.
By the time the day you retire from YouTube at 65 is when you'll get your million.
But later down the road, that's a problem for later. Gotta take the win right now. Gotta enjoy that for a bit, and then actually kind of taking it back to work a little bit. That's kind of how our work is. You get told when you're getting a raise or promotion in July, and then you don't get it until middle of August. So you have like this lag time. You're like, yeah, I got promoted, woo woo, and then by the time you actually get it, it's like, oh yeah, I guess that's the thing. So cool, but no, super cool.
Yeah. No,
so Brickworld Chicago, it's been about a month. We've been talking about it for the last, let's see, I just realized we're pushing 3 hours. Oh my goodness. Okay, so how is your experience overall? I assume it was great. I assume it was wonderful, but kind of favorite memories, people you met that was kind of a standout to you, just overall. How are you feeling about 2024?
2024, it's like it's compounding, right? Like every year only gets better and better and better, and like for multiple reasons. Like I just like, I'm definitely doing the social media aspect, so I'm meeting like more and more people because of that. Like, oh, yo, I watched your channel. Like, holy crap, I met you. And part of that is maybe bridging the gap of like not going to other conventions. So it's like this one is like just super special, but. Oh, the people for me, the community, just being able to in such 5 short days is not enough. But the people from other creators to just mock builders to the community, viewers of the channels, it's the people and the connections. Like, for example, like even Tyler coming over this weekend for a live stream, or JB popped up to my crib today, right? Like. Trying to get the Indiana crew together, by the way.
Dude,
CPA. We definitely
the invite apparently got lost in the middle. Just kidding.
I even said it. I told I think Tyler, I was like, we should invite CP. I maybe JB. I was like, let's invite CP today. Just like all.
The more I'm realizing, I mean, there really is. I mean, again, if you want to get technical and even add a little bit of Illinois, like right over the border, Illinois people. I mean, like we got like Richie and like I mean, there really could be. I mean, there's no reason, man, why. Especially, I mean, we would have to keep it somewhere closer to like just to keep it fair to like JB, CPAs. Like, all like we have to keep it relatively like in our county, Cristo, just because it's like if we keep it to, I mean, if anything, we can maybe go a little bit. I think the most fair is maybe be a little bit more towards CPA, but we gotta, like, if we're gonna do like a dinner, but like, I mean, your house also itself is like pretty much right in the middle anyway, so like we've got to grab like a 5-6 person.
I mean,
out one time,
bro, JB drove an hour and a half. I forgot to text JB, like, if he just wanted to crash here, I feel bad. Like, it's like an hour 20, hour and a half. Like, bro, just stay the night or something. Like, but he just came up to build some Lego and just shoot the crap, right? Like, it was just enjoyable, right? And like that starts at Brickworld. Like, that connection is from Brickworld, and I feel like that's a huge takeaway. Like,
speaking of that, look, I'm willing to put, dude, I will bet $1,000. And if this doesn't happen, dude, I don't know what's going on with this world.
I'll take it. I'll take
by the,
if it doesn't happen.
by the end of this year, if I don't see, again, it doesn't gotta be like vlogged or anything, but like if I don't hear about privately or whatever that there isn't a double date between the CPAs and the stud cities, if there isn't a double date happening by the end of this year,
something's wrong.
Something's wrong with the world.
We snuck one in there at Brickworld. We did.
But that was like kind of not like an obligation thing. That was like a business kind of like. I'm looking for, you guys got to go out to a $100 steakhouse. Meet in the middle of both your guys' cities. You guys, if that's not by the end of the year, I'm surprised.
So there's I do actually owe my wife a steak dinner, from. She wanted to go to 2 steak night dinners on our honeymoon, and being in overseas somewhere else, it was like the prices were not like, I just couldn't help but think back home I could get something way better for $20 less. So I was like, I promise when we come back we'll go somewhere. And life happened, and busy season happened, and it's just been so busy since. And so I still owe her a steak dinner. But I mean, hey. So I'm down to get something on the schedule. We can plan something.
I'm in. Let's
There we go. Look, dude, I'm excited for you guys, man. Like, I don't know why I'm so excited for you guys, but that's beautiful. That's wonderful of you four.
I also wanted to do the hub. Like, it didn't have to wait for Brickworld Chicago. Like, definitely in a good spot here. Like, Tyler's down the street. JB's pretty close. Like, I would love to have the Indiana crew. Like, even way before Brickworld Chicago.
Yeah.
Let's just do like. I've seen it on TikTok, a little Star Wars party or something, have like the cool little drinks, just, whatever, just some good food, like whatever it is, just an excuse to like link up and just kind of just hang out. I think it'd be fun.
Cristo, is there a timeline for your basement when that's going to be wrapped up?
Dude, how about like basement reveal party almost?
Yo,
you know what I mean?
Basement. Okay, so I leave in 3 weeks. Like,
that's right.
Yep. Basement will be 100% complete except carpet. Okay. And then when I get back, I'm just paying somebody to come carpet it. The reason I'm not carpeting it is because, God forbid, water or something.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be here to enjoy it anyways. I'm paying someone to do it. Like, I'll just do it when I get back. It's not a big deal. So 100% complete by then.
Awesome.
So I'm in for a reveal party. I think that's
so when you get back and carpet it and start setting up stuff and everything. So
yeah.
Heck yeah. Stud Lake's comment. Come on, that's the funniest thing of the night over there.
CPA, that one. My wife clearly isn't still watching, because she would have said like, "Yes, you're right." That's
I did describe 3 steak dinners.
I mean, she already said if I wait till our anniversary, it doesn't count, and we're getting up to that.
I think if I'm not mistaken, same month as me, right? Like,
yeah.
I think we said yes.
Right. Yeah.
Friendly reminder.
I do have to say, I'm super glad that your wife went and that they were able to click on several different hobbies and such. Because I know that was one thing I was a little worried about, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to, I don't want to say like fully enjoy Brickworld if I was always mentally like, oh, is she having a good time? Is she
I get it.
Finding
people
to connect with? So I was really glad that they were able to connect and become good friends over the weekend. So
now it's another thing. It's like, we hit each other up like, hey, let's go to this convention. Let's slip another convention in there. Like, we'll bring the gals. They get to do their thing, and we kind of do our thing, right? Like, it's really worry free. Like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. It's a good time.
Wives of Lego, WO.
Yeah. So how was at Brickworld, Cristo, for you? The awesome picture with Miles Turner, getting him to sign the instructions. Like, how was that? How'd that go down? Walk us through that.
I always say this at Brickworld, and for other conventions and stuff, you always got to be mindful of other people's time, right?
Yeah.
And the guy's, he's very genuine. He really is just interested in Lego, and he's super nice to like go and take all these pictures with all these people, sign so many things, but you got to be mindful of the time. It was truly an amazing experience. And for the brief, few minutes that I did discuss with him, granted, signing was awesome, but really just talking about Lego for a few questions that we got to go in, I think that was a little bit more special.
Oh yeah.
Like in all truthfulness. And he's like, "Oh, you build Lego City? Like, let me see your Instagram." Like, it just goes a long way. It just shows he's genuinely interested in the community rather than just like, "Yo, I just buy Lego because," he's interested in the community. And I think there's people you want to like, meet. So huge opportunity. And of course, signing a unreleased Star Wars set, like, that's just I got the Calcast that's sitting right here. Like,
Nice.
I mean, it's something special. I'll always remember it, and hopefully he does, right?
Yeah. And I would probably venture to say that was something you weren't expecting to happen this year, and in the slightest, like, that was not on your bingo card to meet the NBA player who is obsessed with Lego as much as we are. I can't imagine you were expecting that.
That's something you can't account for, right? Like, who's going to be at, like, that just shows who's going to be at Brickworld Chicago. Like, was there any other celebrities that just snuck in there that don't want to be on the radar? Like, who knows, right? Like, did David Beckham make an appearance there? I don't know.
Yes.
Did Bex join us? I have
could
no
you
idea.
Imagine?
That would be,
if we go downtown Chicago, I feel like the chances of Mark being able to get David Beckham would be huge, because I imagine you guys have seen him on Jimmy Fallon, the clips of him and his wife making fun of him building Lego, and he's like, it's like 3-4 a.m. and he's still building. Got to finish that Technic Land Rover or whatever. Oh my goodness, that would be crazy.
His show on Netflix is really good too. And like, there's just some like cut scenes of him just like sitting there building Lego, like just showcasing how important it is to him. Like, what a guy!
That would be amazing. That would be so cool. But yeah, just to kind of recap some of the unexpected things. Probably the number one actually would be, and I know it's no surprise, I have it off to the side, the Brick Cross Station, getting that, being able to build that. Just talking with the Bricklink Designer Program, and I know both of you guys are all in on that, all about that. Is this, Tyler, is this actually one of the, do you always get those, or is this one of the first waves you've gone all in?
So I just, full transparency, my dad got them all. They're all his technically, but they're in the household. But it is our first time as a collective, or as him, or But honestly, retrospectively, going forward, I mean, I probably might. Although, dude, I mean, how does that work on? Because there's a limit, 2 per Bricklink account, right? But it's like, it's obviously my account, but
technical one.
What was that?
2 per household.
Oh, okay. So even more so, because although once you click the pre-order, though, it takes you to Lego.com, which is your individual account. So my question is, like, through my Bricklink account, which is what my dad used this time, just to click the link and log into his Lego. He got the 2 each. Would he be able to click the link on my Bricklink account, sign into his Lego account, do the 2 each, and then would I be able to click that same Bricklink link, go on Lego.com, get another 2 with my Lego.com account? No.
Well, short answer, no. Brick by Brick, Jeff in the chat said correctly, it's per shop at home address. So if you're shipping it to the same address, then yes, it's going to flag it and immediately cancel the pre-order.
Oh, but I could do the same thing. So the same process, but then just change my address to someone else I know.
Yeah, if they're not already buying it, yeah.
Oh, sweet. I mean, wow, easy peasy.
Yeah. No, they're just trying to limit the number of people that are spoofing it, and talking to a couple of designers who were in the process previously, Yeah, they said it's pretty quick, pretty automatic up front, where they will just cancel the orders.
Like you'll know within like that same hour almost, like you'll know if it went through or not, type of thing, or.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect you
to not
probably. I imagine you've gotten an email before where it's like, this product is out of stock or whatever. Your order's canceled. I imagine you would get an email like that.
Oh, okay. I'll just have to do a different address, and then we can get 2 each.
Yeah.
That would be crazy to see all those boxes. And I would say, just holistically, you're not trying to game the system to do that. Like both of you genuinely
it's two independent Lego
Yeah.
collectors. Yeah.
Because someone could go out there and say, well, I'm going to ship 2 to my house, 2 to my parents' house, but they're really all for me. So that's.
Yeah.
I'm sure
the thing
that
is,
dude,
my dad's intentions. I don't know, dude. I mean, I think he's gonna end up building the train station, but I don't know. But like, truly, if I was in his shoes, dude, and I would have bought 2 of those train stations, and after seeing Cristo, it was just even a little bit when I saw it last night. But like, I would have, built a train station, or not a train station, a train shed.
I'm not gonna lie. I have built 2 train sheds right now. Building right, they're complete. If I could have, I would have ordered 4 of them for myself to build.
That's crazy.
Absolutely awesome. Love the set. Actually,
did you guys do the inverse? I wasn't watching after a while. You guys finished it?
Finished it. It's nuts. It is probably.
You're gonna have to send me like a text pic.
Because it's basically just double long, is how that turned out.
No, I didn't do double long. I did it so it's like, it's the 2 tracks and then the 2 sheds.
Oh, so they're just like 2 could slide in next to each other into the.
Are the sheds next to each other or the tracks next to each other?
Let me go take a picture.
Yeah.
And I'll hold up.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think like what. I'm trying to think of the benefit. Obviously, it's super cool just to have 2 kind of mirrored next to each other. But I'm trying to think like, are you trying to get 2 to go back into back, or? Yeah, I think
I'm not sure. Yeah,
would help.
I think it would look cool, honestly, man. If the 2 independent tracks were in the middle, so then you would be able to have 2 trains go in the middle of 2 sheds on either side.
Okay.
Oh, just wait and see.
Is that the way you did it, Cristo, or did you do it the other way?
Am I gonna have to get the full screen?
Well, I just took a picture of my phone. I'll just hold it.
Yo, that's pretty cheat code having a headphones like that on that you can just be all around your house and talk.
Yeah, I low key the picture is so awful, and my house is absolute. Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
Okay. Dude, that is.
Yeah.
It's
that
like
is incredible, dude.
No, that's sick.
I originally wanted to do the 2 sheds next to each other, and then like the opposite, right? Like just move around.
The tracks on the outside. Yeah.
I will. I'm not gonna lie. The roofs overhang just a little too much, where they're like colliding. But this looks way better.
Yeah, that's
that way. This is the move. And then like say you get a little mock crazy, add another train track on both sides of it, and now you got a 6-car. Now you got a six lanes. Like, dude, it is freakish.
Well, so dude, imagine if you had 2 more, Cristo, would you build 2 more and have 2 sheds next to each other on each? And you would have to customize a little gap in between, right? But like, you would do that.
Yeah, I would definitely do something, or go the full turntable route and like turn them a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
have you already shared that with Maria?
No, not yet. Yeah.
She's gonna love that.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping to get an interview with her because I'll be back there in
she'll be.
In a couple weeks.
I think you've already kind of connected with her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I've been talking to her for years, a little bit. Like,
oh, sweet.
Right. So like, just because not many Greek enthusiasts in Lego, just because how difficult it is to get there. But I do have one other. I don't know if you're doing fun showings today, but
go for it. Oh my goodness.
Wait, where did you pull that out of?
The Sarlacc.
Oh, dude, that is incredible.
I've seen reverse printed. Oh, it is reverse and slid.
Are the eyes on the back?
This is his actual headpiece, like the front of him.
Oh, so
here, let me see.
It's reverse printed.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible, man. I gotta ask, are you selling?
No, this is the first time I've ever like pulled a misprint, and like I was blown away. I'm building. I'm like, yo, chat, like is this supposed to be like, when did Chewbacca grow a second face? Like what?
Assuming that's not like a consistent thread across that set, which hopefully it's not, just for everyone's sake, but and for your sake with the misprint. That's like, I don't know the misprint market very well, but I feel like that's gotta be a pretty spicy misprint. Like, is that going to be 200, 300, 400?
Although, hold up, dude, Cristo. This is the craziest part about that, and I wonder if you know. I mean, not who knows. I don't know what you plan on doing it like within like the next couple of years, but think about this. Say 5 years from now, or whether it's 5 months from now, are you technically able to even sell that Chewbacca misprint since you got it out of a land set?
No, I'm not.
Oh, dude, hey, nice little piece for the personal though. But that's ironic how you can't sell it. But
no, like, yeah, this will never be able to be sold because this did come from a Lego ambassador set.
So cool.
But to be honest with you, like, I don't know. Do you have a desire to sell it? Probably, like, not really, right? Like,
are you going to ask for a replacement?
Yeah, no. I am gonna message Land and send a picture, be like, hey, just so you know, I don't know if this is a quality controller, just like the best misprint ever. Either way, thank you. I'm assuming not, because this set's already been embargoed, and there's like, I think like, everyone has the reviews. Like I see Danny, David, whoever else, they already have reviews on it. So it's like, I'm not early to the game.
Oh, dude. Ryan opened up a Starlight today too, and I think he would have said something if he pulled.
He would have definitely said something. Yeah. So luck of the draw, man. I got real fortunate. I wasn't supposed to get the Lego Star Wars sets. I actually messaged them. I said, can you please send these? They did. So shout out.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that was a cool mishap of today.
So let's try on. I keep trying to bring it back to Brickworld Chicago talk, just so we can like.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because I know it's no worries. I'm just trying to bring us back on track. Train, pun intended. But Krista, do you have a favorite memory from 2024 that you can that comes to mind?
Like an exact moment at Brickworld Chicago?
Can be, or man. Just a kind of like an overall vibe, overall thought.
I'm gonna say a pretty easy one, man. Just like maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning it was, and it's just a group of boys sitting in the conference in the like the Lego convention, having a glass cola, having their colas, having drinks, just vibing, just chatting. Like for me, that's just it. Like that's it. I enjoy that so much. It makes me feel like a kid again, and like that's how life probably should be. So that's probably my moment, man. It's not an exact moment. It's just like it's the vibe. It's the vibe of Brickworld. Like, oh yeah, it just feels right, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. It's kind of hard to just capture one moment. I mean, fortunately, I can capture like 3 moments, which is amazing. Obviously, with Bricklink, with just some laughs with, Harri and Beyond the Brick, and just various conversations there, which were just funny. The impromptu garage sale was a good time. I don't know if you ever ventured over to that. Were you over? Did you ever kind of walk by and see that?
Yeah, I popped over. Just to, unorganized, organized, that is pretty cool, right? Like, yeah, they did feel there was a lot of rules, which I understand, but for the garage sale, like I do feel like there's a lot of rules for it, and like mixed emotions, but a lot of people struggled and whatnot. So yeah, it is what it is. But gotta have anarchy. Can't have anarchy, right? Like, gotta have anarchy.
Yeah. So with maybe you've heard some of the venue talk about how us kind of giving you thoughts on, and with you being, I guess, sort of a native of the area, are you familiar with any other convention centers like McCormick, Donald D. Stevens? Do you have any kind of local thoughts?
I'm pretty familiar with the McCormick Center. Honestly, I don't. It's not gonna bother. Like, I understand the push. I for one am 2 things. Like the Father Day weekend, I feel like is difficult for many. Mm-hmm. I see that. I see the strain on many. That's tough. That is tough. And then just the for me, what has to happen, no matter what, it needs to be a hotel and convention center. Like, no questions asked. Like, that's not even up for debate. Like, I would not have as much fun if that wasn't the case. It's just an all-in-one is definitely a must.
And that would literally not be possible at, I don't know if it'd be possible anywhere else. Oh no, McCormick. No, that's right. Donald D. Stevens is connected to the McCormick place. I've been there like 5 times, and I think that's how it is. But obviously, the McCormick. Have both of you guys been to? No, Hyatt. Hyatt is connected to Donald E. Stevens. Are you guys familiar with? Have you been there before?
I've not been there.
No.
I've been to McCormick.
Yeah, so the Hyatt Hotel is a huge hotel. Like, it's got to have more rooms. I think it's how many floors is the Rennie?
16. Since I think we were on the, I was on the 14th, and there's 2 above. I think so. 16.
So I think the Hyatt is like 24 floors. Wow. So it's huge, but the price is per room is going to be like $250 on the cheap end if they can get some sort of deal. If not, it probably would be $300. Pardon? No, that's in Rosemont.
Oh, that's off Rosemont. So that's not even like city lifestyle. And you're still paying that much.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know exactly where that is then.
Yeah.
I mean, Rosemont's definitely more convenient because the airport's even closer for most. So that's like, I mean, the logistics travel, you probably save money in the long run anyways, just not having to do the whole logistics thing of like whether it's renting a car. It's just easier for people. So I get that, but oh man, I mean, I've seen so many people get like 8 people in a room to begin with, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are so many hotels just. Like, there's the DoubleTree right across the street. There's Embassy Suites right across the street. So there's a lot more hotels there. But Hyatt would definitely be the one to be at. And, yeah, like I said, very expensive.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even that one, actually, now that I'm looking, is still across the street, if I'm reading this correctly. But, yeah, I mean... There's, like we've been saying all night, pros and cons to each way. Like, you're gonna lose some somewhere, you're gonna win some elsewhere. Maybe you get that more prestigious convention feel, but you might lose some crowd. Maybe you'll gain a couple people, but still, I mean, it's just how it's gonna be.
The one thing for the Renaissance, man, that I like, speaking of like convenience, man, I think about this. I thought about this the last 2 years I've stayed at the Renaissance. Where imagine like right out of the actual convention hall, if like in one of the corners or like even in the center of it, there was like an elevator where, dude, my dream is like 4 a.m. bro. I don't know why I think like this. I don't know. But you go up to, you walk like 10 feet over to the elevator. Like, say it's like in the corner that we were in. You're in the elevator, it takes you up, and then you just get instantly like escalated. Like, you don't even got to walk. You just get elevated and then escalated all the way over to the floor of the thing where you don't even got to walk. You just
a Willy Wonka glass elevator.
I mean, dude, that's the only way the Renaissance will get even better, bro. You don't even got to walk across that long hallway to the hotel. You just get literally transported.
That's ideal.
Yeah, the Hyatt doesn't even have that. Actually, they still have another walkway that goes to that, or you just walk across the street. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Of course, like we said, can't happen until 2028 at the soonest. So I feel like by 2020, I feel like at the end of next year is when they need to just buckle down and say, all right, we're either going to try a new place, see how it goes, or we're just sticking the next 3 years through 2030, which is weird to think about all the way through then.
Yeah.
And
just like I say with Lego Star Wars, man, imagine us talking about Brickworld 2077 memories.
Well, let's talk about Brickworld 2077. All in our drool cups, and how old am I going to be? Like 80. I probably won't be able to go, guys. I'm not gonna commit to 2077 just yet.
Missing out that year.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm going, dude. I'll promise this much, man. I'm talking about Lego Star Wars and going to Brickworld Chicago until the very end. I can promise. I can make that promise right now.
Have you gone to every single one?
No. I missed like 2019 as a whole just due to a family thing at the time, and then I didn't start going until 2014. So I missed like the first 5 years, and then 2019.
Okay. I will say my uncle, my Theo, he wins at every single Brickworld except this year.
I would say, yeah, he wasn't there, right? Since He wasn't. Why wasn't
he? It's like the dumbest story. He
woke up late.
No. He was like finishing a Lego build, and through he always just throws out like all the instructions and stuff, and like for whatever reason there was an extra bag or something in there, and instead of like tipping over the garbage can to get it out, he leaned over and he cracked a rib leaning over.
Oh my goodness!
Like just like the dumbest thing. Like yeah,
that is crazy.
So he's like, and he was like, he doesn't go to the hospital. He never takes meds. He's like the stubbornest guy in the world. So he's just like, yep, I'm just gonna sit at home. I mean, for something like that, you can't do anything anyways, right? It's like a healing thing.
Yeah.
So he was just in a crap ton of pain and just first Brickworld he's ever missed.
Wow.
So
man,
wild.
That stinks. Yeah. But you know, I feel like there's many people out there that would suffer a cracked rib and still go to Brickworld Chicago. Like you're not missing that for the world. I feel like Tyler, you'd probably go. If you broke your leg or something, you'd hobble.
I'd go
up to Brickworld Chicago.
Yeah. Dude, it's one time a year, man. I ain't missing it.
Yeah.
No. You know, that's my logic.
Is there a push for to go to any other conventions that like take our like I would say we'll have a crew, right? Like we was.
Dude, the thing is, talk about Indiana crew, man. We are close enough to. You know, FW and GR, you know, to
But those won't be the same. I mean, like, is there anyone where it's just like big enough for like, you know?
I mean, the thing is, I don't think anything.
I'll be back, guys. Hold it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't.
Is it worth our attention?
What was that, Cristo?
Is it like worth our attention? It's like, yo, Nashville example is this week. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Not that I had no intention to go to Nashville. Don't get me wrong, I would have. And maybe some of these other influencers.
Is that what? Brick convention, right? That's not Brickworld.
That's not Brickworld. That was Brick Expo. And like maybe these other influencers getting paid a boatload of money to go or something. I don't know, right? Like that's not the case for when I go. Like I genuinely go to just go. Maybe that's it or something. But like I don't know. It's like for me, Brickworld Chicago's it. Like I'm satisfied there. It's
just the thing, dude. Brickworld Chicago is literally just the top of the mountain. Like I mean, it's just like so. What I'm getting at, like I mean, I personally would not care to pay money out of my pocket to travel 800 miles away to go to different ones, especially when it's just not as hype as Brickworld anyway. But like as Sean said, I mean, I would or you know, he's planning on going to Grand Rapids, man, this fall.
Really?
So
nice.
I mean, truly I do think, you know, it's not gonna be anywhere near as hype, but like just for a get together of the dudes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do think,
that's in September,
FW like, or Grand Rapids.
13th or something, right?
Yeah, September something, I think, right?
Okay.
Oh, but you won't even be
around. Is there anything in November?
No, I think the last one is Fort Wayne, like mid-October, I think.
Mid-October. There's potential. Nah, I probably won't be back.
Damn. Well, always next year.
There's
Brickworld Indianapolis in March. I mean, we could all meet up there.
Yeah. Once he's gonna figure it out. And the RI.
Oh, you said they're all getting paid, this time. Oh, dude, are you guys all talking about that thing that happened this weekend? That like the pick of like the 10 of them, you know, some of the TikTokers and stuff like that. Like you're talking about them, like that they posted they're all together. You're talking about that thing?
No, I'm just saying like other conventions. Like
No, but you brought up the Nashville thing. Is that the Nashville thing you're talking about?
No. I'm saying like there's a convention in Nashville, and I've seen like some of even my friends. Like I don't know if they're being paid to go there. And it looks like ACOB just verified a lot of them are being paid to be there. Like I don't know.
Grand Rapids. Yeah, I'm sure we talked about that one.
Well, CPA, do you know Sean's probably gonna go there?
Yeah, I think he mentioned that. He's like, he's going to try it. It might work out, I think is what he said. I don't know if he knows for sure this time, did he say?
Well, and it's actually never mind. What I was going to say, I won't. It gives away too much geographical stuff. I'll save it for a private thing.
Shy says, you know, Brick Slopes or Atlanticon, right? Like, is there any desire for you guys to go to either of those? I'll be honest, Brick Slopes is one I'm considering. I'm going to be home the night before it and leave like 3 days after it, so it's like, do I just go there?
Where's Brick Slopes?
Utah, Salt Lake City.
I don't know. That's a long. Dude, see, my biggest thing is I don't mind driving. I would drive to any of these. Like I like driving, and it's like $100 in gas or whatever, like that's worth my enjoyment anyway. Like that's how I view it. Like I get so much enjoyment driving and just listening to podcasts that like I can chop up a 12-hour drive, for $100 value and be like, all right, that's 12 hours of entertainment for $100. Like I'm fine with driving. Like I'm cool with that. But like my biggest thing is when you start going to some of these other places. Although the more I'm thinking about, I don't know, all depends. I mean, somewhere like, I mean, if you get, it comes down to hotel. You know what I mean? Because it's like, factually, it's like some of the things. Although the more I'm thinking about it, I don't know. Do I really let that ruin the fact of if it's only a couple $100 in gas and like, I guess, dude, if the hotel was like $150 a night, like that's no problem.
Utah would be about a 20-hour drive.
Yeah, no
just
way.
To
I'm
put
flying.
that into perspective.
I'm flying.
Tyler.
Oh, to Utah?
Yeah.
Tyler, if like, for example, if I'm like, yo, Tyler, let's go Friday, like early morning, and come back Sunday night. Like we get 2 nights in a hotel. Let's just go be with as many boys as we can.
I mean, you can fly. I'll drive. We'll meet up there. Dude, I'll pick you up at the airport, man.
At least I got a ride from the airport.
Yeah, exactly. Man. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Well, I'm not gonna say sad, but it's like it's hard. That's a better word. It's hard because Chicago is just arguably in our backyard.
I mean, we're spoiled. I mean,
we're spoiled.
Us three are spoiled.
We have the best Lego convention in our backyards, and we don't have to work too hard to get there. Yeah. And all these other people are like breaking their necks, breaking their backs, breaking their wallets to get here. And it's
I guess we'll never understand how they feel until us three start trekking to 10, 20 hour away conventions. Yeah,
because even Brick Fair this year, I've been told, and certainly it is more Bionicle geared than other conventions, so there's certainly that draw for me. And I know a couple other creators that I haven't met yet or haven't been to Brickworld yet that are planning on going. And so it's like, man, I'm going to have some FOMO there, but it's a 12-hour drive in the next 20 days or so. Can I really swing that? Probably not. I unfortunately have already decided I just can't go to that one. I just can't pull away for that weekend. So it's tough to be in these situations and like, man. But like you said, Tyler, Brickworld Chicago, it's 1 week a year.
1 week.
Can certainly shell that out. Like imagine, Tyler, like what if you find yourself moving to, I don't know, like what if you moved to Florida? Because you already know the Brickworld Chicago.
Yeah, I would
like,
still come back to Chicago 100%. Yeah, because there's so much proof there that it would be worth it. There's just so much proof there.
Yeah,
and Sean would know this, but in a technical sense, maybe I am going to 2 big Lego conventions next year. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, what a tease! What
a little
tease here.
What are we, like 3.5 hours into the stream? A little 3:30 in, little tease.
Yeah, a little 3:30.
The people need it. I know I need it to keep going. Might have to start. Might have to call it around 3:30. We've got 8 minutes for that. So, but man, overall, 24. It was so tiring. I swear, I'm still recovering from the sleep deprivation. Like I can do one night every once in a while. Do like a 3:30, 4:30. Like I did earlier this week. I did a 4:30 a.m.er to get that video out. Just was like, I need to get it done and then just go. So every once in a while I can swing it, but man, 5 nights in a row, that was rough. I don't know how does that hit you guys?
CPA, honestly, man, I know you're lying when you say you want to come on there Thursday, bro. Like you want to lose a day? There's no way you're being.
No, I'll probably just do Wednesday again. Honestly, I literally did not.
CPA, as we just said, it's one time a year. Make that day sacrifice.
So I did not sleep. I did not prepare my sleep as I should have. Like I was thinking, even all right, the week before, you're gonna get to bed every night before midnight. Let's see if I could just hit that. And most of the nights did not hit that at all. So I really did myself a disservice. And next year, though, I will be trying to get that sleep to prepare for staying up those late hours in the nights.
Well, I think next year, I hate to throw in the mix, but I think we're gonna do a little Indiana and the boys little pre-party, like
pre-party. Okay.
I think we're safe.
Because we kind of briefly, I thought about it in the fact of like, since Brent kind of drives up through us anyway, you know what I'm saying? And then Sean could technically fly into, where CPA, right? I mean, closer to you, so he could fly into there in a technical sense. And then say you could maybe, tag Sean along down to Brickworld and then bring him back up to that specific place you fly out of closer to you on the way back. I don't know. We were just kind of like spitballing it, like where it's like I think we're kind of forgetting about how there is that one. I kind of forget about it a lot of times. The fact there is that place you fly into in the middle over there.
Sean said he'll handle the poster, bro. That's it. It's literally Brickworld starts on Tuesday. Like that's.
Oh my goodness. No, yeah. That's so cool.
Well, just like how Sean flew into Brent, that one year, and they did a little, day before they flew. I mean, Sean and CPA have got to do a little tour around CPA's town for a day.
There's some good places to go. It's got a bit to offer, a little bit. But Richie's got a great question. Who's in for Brickworld Grand Rapids?
I think all of us are, besides Christo's going to be away.
Yeah, I'm in for that. I know Firebird Caleb will be there.
Yeah, he's over there.
Sounds like Sean might be there. So, yeah. And yeah, that one's going to be...
Be tough for me to see on social media.
Last year was the first year there. I think, if I'm saying it right, it was the biggest first time Brickworld convention so far. So for a new city, for a Brickworld convention, it was the biggest one, which is awesome. Always awesome to see. So hoping this next year will be better. The location was fine. It's just, it was in the back of, like, you walk in the front doors of the convention center, you have to walk down the main hallway, and then it's literally at the end of the hallway to the right, and there were like no signs anywhere saying, I was expecting a big Brickworld Grand Rapids this way, and there was just nothing. So hopefully there's a little bit better. I'm sure there will be in that respect to kind of pull people in. But yeah, it was so chill. Like, and once again, the convention did close. I can only imagine it was not open. I can't remember how late we stayed there. Not really. Maybe like 8, 9 or so. So it really wasn't. It's not the same and not intended to be the same. So there's always that aspect. But while I'm thinking about it, that's something else that, and I know we've mentioned it a couple times, that moving to a new venue, I'm pretty sure would completely shut out the 24/7 access.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I'm trying to think of those other conventions. When I worked in Donald E. Stevens, I don't think they were even close to 24/7 access. So that would be, like, I know Tyler, you're all about that. So how would you feel? I know you want McCormick for at least 1 year. Would that cut it for you, not having that access?
Really quick on that note, I do gotta jump. Appreciate you guys.
Dude, yeah, thanks for stopping by.
For sure.
Yeah.
See you around. See you.
So I think on the 24/7 thing, there's part of me. So I guess I need to know this answer, CPA. When do they open? When would it be? Like, what's the actual timeline? Like, what time close? What time open? Like, what are you getting to work with?
9 a.m. to 10 p.m. would I just ballparking
that? I mean, although, dude, I'll be honest. I mean, that wouldn't, because think about it in this perspective. I mean, that would definitely, it would be a game changer for the first year. But honestly, I don't doubt for a second that, sure, it would be more cost. You know what I mean? It would be like way more cost. Costly, because if we say have to get out of there by 10, like, if we do got to say hang somewhere else, if we got to go to, a restaurant, you know what I mean, or somewhere.
Yeah, so Sean's got some good info. Likely 2 to 7 a.m. most likely closed, and then He's saying it would more likely cause a lobby party is all it would really do.
Yeah, lobby or having to cruise to a restaurant. Yeah, so I agree. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would definitely be. I mean, it's so nice to be in there and do 2 a.m. where all it is just like 20 of us and then the security guard that's sleeping on the table. Like, I mean, it's just so nice. I mean, it's so nice.
But even at least for the Hyatt in Rosemont, the lobby, I don't know, it isn't as good. Even the lobby compared to the Renaissance. I don't know. It's just little things like that would change, and I don't know. You always find a way. You would inherently find ways to course correct or just to make it unique in its own way. It's just a matter of finding those times and finding those abilities to make that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Sean said, like Sean and Ryan said, why mess with a good thing? It's working. Like,
yeah, I guess that's right. But I just want not even the prestige of it, but like I look at like, dude, like SDCC and all that. Like, I could just like, I don't know, man. I just feel like the Lego space itself has potential to get up to like an SDCC. You know what I mean? So it's like that's kind of my logic there, where it's like if you want to get up to that level, of just like global, knowledge of the convention, I think you'd have to go McCormick. To fit everyone and just to kind of have that.
Yeah, at that point, yes. I would say, I mean, to that end, it was actually really cool in 23 to have just to make it feel more like a San Diego or a convention like that. You got to have official releases. Like that needs to be a go-to spot where people go to get immediate firsthand knowledge of future Lego releases or Lego related product.
So you think you would need like a Lego panel booth kind of there, like
you would
like
need
a Hall
Lego,
H thing, like Lego does Hall H and they announce everything for 2 hours.
Like Lego would have needed to announce that they're doing Rebuild the Galaxy and here's some promo images.
Oh, and they do the trailer. They show it at the debut was at SDCC or
stuff like that
at
needs to
Brickworld
happen.
equivalent. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. But I mean, we even had some stuff like that, and it was cool because it was on a small personal level of Mayday figs. I don't know did you go to that panel?
I have not.
Presentation?
No, I did not go to this. No.
So it was kind of cool because they announced the new figs that are coming, and it kind of had that sense because there were a lot of oohs and ahs and like literal cheering when they announced new figures. Like for instance, the Homelander. They're doing a Homelander figure coming up soon, which is pretty sweet. So when they announced that, we all had our oohs and ahs of looking at the pretty designed figure. So even stuff like that, little stuff. Comparatively
Shy brought up a good point. I mean, they used to actually do Lego reveals at like those toy fairs back then. Those like New York toy fairs and some of that other stuff where it's like, imagine if they could do that at the Lego convention. Or again, like, dude, my logic, like, look, I would prefer it not be like fully owned by Lego because I think then it would just get way too corporate and fun. But like, when they do Lego Con and call it Lego Con, tell me why it's not a in-person 4-day event in Denmark that is reminiscent of a Comic-Con. Like tell me why were those not in person? Like, I don't know. Like, and just better, like where they actually did true panels, had sets on display in glass cases out there to show. Like, that would have just been like when I first heard LegoCon, I'm like, dude, is that going to be how they do it? But no, it was a terrible 2-hour presentation on a live stream.
I will tell you, I've been talking to one of the designers who has submitted a handful of them to Lego Ideas and the designer program. He's a part of the 10K club, and he's kind of floated some ideas to me of because I love the Brooklyn designer program, all they do, new sets coming out, as able to talk to Alex, all that jazz. He was like, well, what if you use your channel as a platform to announce the finalists for the Brooklyn designer program for like the series? And I'm like, that would be amazing to be able to do that. So, and I don't even know what kind of hoops I'd have to jump through for that, but just like thinking about that possibility for my channel would be amazing.
That'd be hype, man. That'd be huge.
Because if you think about it, I mean, the Brooklyn designer program, people want to know what's people are waiting for August 16th for that announcement, and all they do is they update they click go live on their website, and you just see it there. There's no hype. There's nothing built up like that. But to get some hype like that, it'd be super easy. You just, you start small. The first one, basic stream. Let's talk to some of the designers. Let's talk to Series 2, Series 1 finalists. Build some hype, start an hour or so beforehand. And then, drum roll please, finalist number 1, finalist number 2, that kind of stuff. So, who knows? Pipe dream for now. So,
oh yeah.
But I would have to. I was telling him I'd have to change my name by that time. There's no way. There's no way Bricklink or Lego would let the Lego CPA host that stream.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh man.
Yeah, that sounds like an official title that.
Yeah.
They probably have someone literally called Lego CPA on their payroll, and you are not them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, dude, I was gonna bring up, man. What are your thoughts on that one viral short for you, or the one, the reel going? Dude, I do. CP, I don't know if you called it my comment, dude. I go back and rewatch that like every other day, just because like it's just so just genuine, and just the comment, dude. It's crazy how people can't have a sense of humor these days, man. I mean, the fact that that's 90% negativity in that comment section,
it's hilarious.
Is terrible, dude.
I love it, but yeah, no, I was trying to one of the comments was dude's working overtime in the comments here to imply save his bacon or whatever, save his image, but it was so funny. Just one of my favorite comments was let's see if I can even find it.
Well, the one guy accidentally said stat wars or something.
That one was funny. I think I pinned his comment. Yeah, Lego Stat Wars fans when something is meant to be fun and wacky. But one guy said, I'm glad I saw this first, because if this is the kind of thing you talk about on your podcast, I don't want to be any part of it. And I was like, well, if this is the kind of thing that triggers you, then this podcast wasn't meant for you, because
True. Yeah.
it was just so funny because I'm literally making an observation.
And when it's just literally humor, bro. I don't see how anyone cannot just chuckle at that. At least just chuckle and move on. I can't see how people can't just laugh at that, because dude, I'm dying over it. That is truly that is genuinely maybe a top 3 short reel, just short form thing that I've seen in the Lego space in a year.
And it was so funny because I spend 2 hours making actual good shorts and upload them, and they get 3,000 views on a good one, and then I just clip this 15 seconds from a live stream that there's little production involved, and posting it to YouTube. And then it was okay, here's how it literally went. I rarely double post my remix, because the remix function in the YouTube app. So I rarely repost those to Instagram, but it was midnight one night. I had already posted it to YouTube, and I was like, nah, I'll just take 2 seconds and download it through whatever that random website is, post it to Instagram, and whatever. Maybe people will find it funny.
Well, no one did.
Yeah, it was funny. There was 3 groups of people. The first group was the reasonable people, oh, haha, yeah, look at that. It doesn't have any wings or any engines. The second group of people, negativity of, wow, it's a kid's toy. Can't you just let it be a kid's toy? It's not that serious. And then the third group of people trying to educate on the lore of the uglies.
Yeah, the uglies,
I'm sure you saw those comments. So nope, didn't know who those people were now, but now I do. So yeah, it was just hilarious. And it's always funny, the conversion, just the analytics and conversion. Because looking at the insights, out of 163,000 views, just shy of 6,000 likes, I got 21 followers from that.
Dude, because 162, 950 of those were all haters.
I know. Well, yeah, and it's it's not like you'd expect to get followers from that just because it's a silly little short, but it's just funny, the conversion on these things.
Yeah, I mean, I just genuinely think, bro, that seriously got pushed to the total wrong audience. That is an example of dude, that was you guys that got sent to a bad 163. I'll tell you that.
Well, I guess it's that, and then also, like it wouldn't have got 163,000 views if there wasn't all that negative engagement.
You're right. Yeah,
So,
people leaving
it's a give
negative
and take.
comments because it's engagement. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So but I mean, I do have to say, even just that one little short, and not trying to say like I experience anything that you guys or you or Ryan experience, because you share your thoughts on Lego with your channel, and it's not always positive. So people like to be like, oh, why are you talking about a kid's toy like this? So I kind of felt like a little scratch of that, of like, wow, man, if I got this on every single thing I posted, I would probably turn into a bitter person, or it would be very difficult to always stay positive on everything. So, because it ended up on the Lego Circle Jerk Reddit. Someone screen capped it and posted it there. So I was like, I shouldn't read all these comments, but I will anyways. And yeah, so it's just funny in a way. You have to laugh at it, because if you don't laugh at it, take it too seriously, and it's not good, not ideal. So, well, I think that about wraps up this stream. You stayed in for the long haul. I know I only had you on the schedule for like an hour. I figured you'd probably loop in for a while, which is good. It's fine with me.
Hey, I'll say this much, man. The moment you let the door open for me to stay an extra little bit, I turned that little bit into a long bit, and hopefully that was all right.
No,
I mean, I would have left the second you said to leave. I mean, I was waiting for the thing, like, hey, get out. I was waiting for the personal kick, man. Like you kicked the first group out.
No, yeah, it's all good. Glad to have you here. And this was your first time on a CPA stream. How's that?
Was it really?
Yeah, this is the first one.
No, hold on. I thought before Brickworld.
Nope.
Okay, sweet. I mean,
I had actually asked you right as you were taking your break.
I forgot. Yeah, the text thing with the whole thing. Yeah.
So just bad timing, but we're
this
here now.
Official. Yeah.
Hey, that's what matters. So thank you so much for everyone in chat that stuck through us. I'm Cooper. I think you were here the whole time. You had to have been. Cooper's a true one. And then handful of other people. I know Sean was in and out for a bit. Qui-Gon Jeans was here for a while. Squidman also always here for a while. But thanks everyone for stopping by. Hey, if you're new here, like the stream, as always, we're gonna get. I'm hoping this will be a good rewatch for a lot of people who weren't able to make it. And then subscribe, of course, if you're new. And man, it's always good to reminisce about Brickworld. We'll be able to give us something next year to build the hype, because each year you got to build the hype. So.
Well, hey, and technically there will be one of these post Grand Rapids too, right? Maybe.
There should be one. And last year I did stream at Brickworld Grand Rapids on the floor. So I'm hoping to do that again. I think is gonna be the plan. So yeah. Well, there you go. Thanks everyone for watching. Next week is still in the plan for another CPA-fol podcast. Hoping to have a new guest on is the plan. So yeah, we'll see you all next week. Thank you so much for stopping by.